Turn 81, we've got a couple events. One, our mother has died, so we need a governor in Persia. We're going to assign ourselves as a governor to take advantage of that training boost. We can also take a second husband, which we will do. And we'll take gold for taking a second husband. Start a cataphract archer there. We're going to rush out this elder officer with money from that cataphract archer in 3 years, thanks to ourselves being governor. Agree here. We're going to go in attack. Looks like Fluffy has retreated everything, which makes me incredibly paranoid as to where anything is. So I'm going to try to array my forces in a way that lets me be very defensive, so he can't really attack more than with 2 or maybe 3 units at a time, to really minimize what he can do with launch offensive. So I think just mostly lots of little movements here. Meanwhile, try to start as many mines and citadels and libraries. We'll start that citadel in a second, start the range here. Citadel needs next turn there, start some more mines. Start library there. We'll position our forces and then move a couple scouts. Influence, and we also sent some additional units, or some additional luxuries here to get this down to 9 years. This will get strong next year. This is some turns away still, so can't quite see it, 3 years away. So we'll probably get a citadel up there soonish as well. Maybe when this comes over. Citadel. Patra on 84. Sadar could have its own one, but I think it's better to get the Hatros first. Also say Sadar Citadel. 84. Alright, so it's really tense. We're going to punch another degree. We're influencing the Menkian. And just to keep that religion happy, we'll figure out what we can do with Christianity here. Probably going to do another High Synod next turn. And yeah, so we're positioned here, so he could, in theory, come here and attack with 3 units here, and like 4 units with a launch offensive here. He could come in and like hit with a launch offensive with 5 units attacking one of these. Might be enough to kill. Problem is I don't really know where his units are, but I have enough forces in the area. I should be able to counterattack anything, and I really want him to come to me. I do see a road leading up here. I'm going to slow roll it here. I'm going to move this boat over. I'm probably going to try to establish coastal movement superiority, and otherwise try to keep everything kind of a boxy shape that's going to make launch offensive very, very painful for him. Don't expect Fluffy to be easy to break at all. He does have a hero leader, which is currently a general on a chariot somewhere. Not sure where that chariot is. Again, everything's pulled back as far as I can tell, which makes me incredibly suspicious / worried. Don't expect him to come through here, so primarily looking at angles of attack here, here, or here. Don't really have vision. This scout will go exploring next turn. Don't really want to force march it. All my training is very precious to me. I think it may be worth slamming this. That'll give me enough force marches should I need them next turn, but I'd rather have 1 more cataphract archer. Although honestly, the whole point that this is a governor with that much training is so we can just build the cataphract archers in 3 years without burning the training. So yeah, I mean, other options include doing stuff like this master scribe, just upgrading it. That gives me 1 differential point of science a turn, which isn't that much. So I think I'm just going to keep punching cataphract archers until I get a specialist, and then I'll do another specialist. Yeah. It's going to be interesting for sure. I'm not sure what Rome's going to do. He did have the world's bravest militia there in that fort, which I heartlessly slew. So yeah, we'll reposition some of these next turn. Once everything's in range, definitely need to scout out, move along, potentially take this city next turn, if we're able to. Might be another turn. We can take our time and capture everything. No particular rush on our part. So yeah, we will see what we can force here. Really want to see what Fluffy does while I have lots of forces concentrated. So he retreated with that injured Pastasis somewhere, so I'll have to kill it at some point. I could go more aggressive and try to take the city and then like push here and take some units. The problem is I don't know where any of his forces are, and like I don't want to lose 4 units to an adventure. So I think I'd rather be very cautious here and see what I can do. It is kind of presenting my units to be attacked by him, but he doesn't have the tech to deal anything with 8 strength, as far as I'm aware. I really, really wish I had a Spy Master at this point. We will see what we have available next turn. We really probably should take drama. We definitely need that. Can also see a case for steel next turn. I think realistically we probably want to actually prioritize these techs. Marshall could steal, especially with that Holy War thing ticking. So 3 years on Persia. Alright, I think we just need to play the turn. There's no point really thinking too much more about it. This should be defensive enough that we can hold. We did take this city without any cost for our part. So we will see. We've got a couple more units waiting in the wings. We have set up an incredible route chain if he's able to do it. I just don't see him being able to pull it off. Like the most units I can see him attacking with is 5, and I'm pretty sure 5 units, even attacking twice, will like kill at most 1 unit. Because he can only hit with 2 melees, and I haven't seen anything apart from slingers, I think, from him. So here he could hit with 3 melee. Well, yeah, he can only hit me with 2 melee ever. So yeah, I just don't see him killing very many units. So just going to continue to be cautious. We'll hard build this Cataphract Archer. I can also see a story here and say, you know what, we should just be festivaling. This city's going to be our science city. We're going to keep pumping wisdom on her. So I can definitely see a case for festivaling. Getting more specialists up, like that Master Philosopher. It's probably better, realistically. We're almost done here with the double apprentice officers. We just finished this here. So we can swap military production to some of these other cities. I don't think I need any more units, so I think it's probably better to invest in the slightly longer term, get some additional science out of this. Festival will give me 60 happiness, which will be close. Could also decree, potentially. I don't know that I'm going to need that many orders. Everything's pretty much already in place. And I already have a decree pumping here. I can also see a case here for just grabbing a Master Philosopher with this. And getting that sweet, sweet science. Probably the correct call there. So maybe we just do that. I've moved these units slightly. I don't really want any of these as my governor. He's better as a tutor for Princess Roxana in 8 years. Corrupt, I don't really want to pay that much money. And he's great science, but not particularly useful. And also hates my guts because Scholar Zealot. Ugh, Zealot. So this is a little greedier play with the Festival and the Master Philosopher. But I think if we decide that we're not going to really push forward until we have boats in place and better vision, then I think we can afford to be slower here. I don't really see me racing. He is weaker. Yeah, and we can potentially hit Zhao or something with pretty hard force next turn. Again, it's really hard to know what to do. I think I should continue focusing on specialists here, and here get some more science. Get that festival, which will give me some growth for another specialist. Were there better options here? She's got that 14/14 science. He, again, I would rather have as a tutor. no good choices here. I really wish she wasn't intolerant, or bitter rather. So, well, she'll get some sweet XP as governor of that city. She's 23, so should be able to get that holy war ambition too as well. That's going to be a priority. All right, so probably almost certainly steal. The drama is also an option. But yeah, I think we prioritize the barding text realistically. And then we can get barding out of here, and that potentially can help crush Rome. All right, I think enough dithering. Definitely a tough turn. Wise play from Fluffy to sacrifice that city without defending. I don't know that he could have defended, but it does make me worry, like, what is back there? How many more troops are there? Yeah, so I'll get better vision once I take the city. Not in any particular rush. I think this is a little greedy, but I think this is the right play in terms of maybe we actually go Master Scribe. This one. That'll give me a little more civics to make the decrees a little more reliable. It's 60 a turn. 3 science, 4 science, and 3 6. So yeah, I think I like the scribe first. So can do that, and then get the philosopher. Yeah, don't really see anyone particularly good. All right, I think that's really enough dithering on my part. Yeah, so we'll probably swap to festivals there. We'll do the Master Scribe. Decree is 80 civics, so we don't have a good governor there, unfortunately. So, and she's not great either. All right. Yeah, gonna punch this one in. So stuck between long-term and short-term play. Could go and get a chariot. Don't even have the wood for it, hilariously. 3-year cataphract archer. I have so many of them though. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I just don't know that I need more. I don't really have the orders right now. Don't feel like I need more right now. I'd rather focus on getting long-term science play. So, playing long-term science play, then I think we actually go Master Philosophy. All right, by far enough dithering here. Let's go ahead and stick to our plan and punch this. All right, sending this over. Turn 82. We've gotten launched offensives and lost 2 units. Fortunately, we can recover from this pretty easily, and I have a way to kill all of these units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units, including his hero leader, which will be vengeance for the 2 units we lost. Let's go ahead and pick cartography, since we don't have steel on offer or drama. So I guess we'll just get Spymaster as soon as we can and start stealing probably from Assyria for science. So yeah, let's go ahead and advance through the turn. Primarily I've played min-max this turn a little bit, trying to figure out exactly the best way to plan this attack, trying to take advantage of every unit that I have in the area. Unfortunately, can wipe out all his units, at least the ones that he attacked with. He, of course, may have more, but he won't have the hero leader next turn. We'll try to hunt it down and find it so that we can kill it. So, goal really is to make every unit do the job that it can. We'll clear with that. We will route chain with that fearsome unit. We actually force march that guy in there because it gives me just enough damage to take out that unit, so it saves me from an attack from Cataphract Archer. And then we are going to basically save the Spearman for last, because you can't route chain through the Spearman. Similarly here, force marching this warrior over here because it does just enough damage. We don't have adjacency bonus for this Cataphract Archer right now, but that's okay. We don't actually need it, so we can get through there. Here, we can attack. We will keep attacking with everything. We actually have more than enough units to attack with. Clear with here. And again, don't need the adjacency bonus here because it just has 1 pip of damage. Sell it, always very annoying to deal with. And then we can easily finish off the last one with our last couple of units here and kill the spearman. And don't advance because we don't have route chain. And a couple events. One is Rule of Wisdom. We can get Discontent or Infantry Unit. We'll take the Infantry Unit XP. And then the other one is basically pay money to get a courtier and keep the statesman happy, which we will do, selling some food and steel and iron. We'll also move a scout around here. See that he's got 2 chariots chilling out here, but he's now much weaker. So we'll keep an eye on those. And we'll also move our boats into position to continue our offensive, looking at Zhao next turn. Of course, killing any units that come in range. And then we'll start a Master Philosopher in Persia, thanks to our festival. Start a festival in Aktabana. Start an Elder Monk there. Start a Horseman there. Might as well get some units built. We can always upgrade those into Cataphracts. Start a Horseman here as well for the same reason. We don't have Cataphract archers available in those cities yet. And we'll start a library here. Start a Citadel here. And then we will influence, or we will do another High Synod with our ambassador. Fortunately, the last one failed, which cost us some opinion with Christianity. And then we get through the event, get our courtier, extravagant dude there, and we'll assign a general with our last order here. Should be pretty good there. We're in a pretty powerful commanding position here. Did flip that city back and forth, but should be okay. We'll have nice coastal movement along the coast here. We'll probably continue to daisy chain our way over, and then eventually get to Rome. It's going to be really hard for him to take too many more units off. Might be able to kill maybe an outlying dude or so, but not much more than that. And of course our core with this double commander brutal combo is going to be very challenging for him to overcome. This library just want to collapse borders. They would have collapsed anyway as soon as we capture the city, but don't have anywhere to build this library otherwise. I guess I could put it here for a slight additional, but min-max doesn't really matter at this point. So yeah, I probably could have actually moved there, but I think this just saves an order or something. I don't want to replay the entire turn to just deal with the library. So not going to matter in the long run. And here we're finishing our temple, which will get us some additional orders. I think we're okay on orders. We could, of course, double order if we want to. I think we're still okay. We did have to force march, and we still had a bunch of orders left over, so I think we're actually okay without running decrees. Target Zhao, target Wasa after that. Basically flood over and then get the boats over in position to hit Rome. Yeah, so liking that. And let's see if I can actually replay this turn. See if it shows everything that happened just for your viewing pleasure. Unfortunately, I have to watch a lot of random Assyrian AI moves. Not really sure where that settler's going or those workers are going. But sure, the AI is doing whatever it wants to. And here we can actually see his attack. So it comes in, attacks. Having removed my general from that actually made this... I don't think it would have saved me because he still would have had launch offensive. And there indeed is launch offensive, which lets it kill that. That hero is pretty terrifying. And then he kills the next unit as well. And since he's attacking from within the city, he will not leave the city. And that is pretty much the attack that he did. And I think it should replay my turns. First we get Frederik's and Babylon's, and then we see ours. Basically replaying that with a beautiful route chain. Forced march here. Entirely sure why certain sound effects are playing, but it's okay. And then, yeah, we very efficiently kill as many units as we can. Route in with that. Just do so much damage with those commanders. Yeah, just insane amounts of damage. The mobility is great. And nicely managed to clear everything out, move around with our scout, and do all the other things that we did. So, yeah, I guess I could re-roll to that library position. It's not going to matter though. So, all right, and that is the turn. All right, the perfectionist me. So since that was pretty late in there, we had what? Hero change, high synod, and the selling stuff. So let's start at the. Okay, so we were here. Yeah, it's going to be better to build that library here for one tiny extra science, since those borders will collapse anyway. We will do the High Synod for Christianity using the ambassador. High Synod with Christianity, trying to desperately fix that. We will probably influence pagans, trying to get some more happiness. All these religions are pretty fragile. We're influencing the Mankians. This turn we'll probably go for the Assyrian pagans and then the Persian pagans just to keep everyone happy. Trading favors. This is the event that I was talking about. I do want this guy. We're going to sell some food down to 600 or so, and then sell down some iron, and maybe even sell down a little bit of food, stone. That is enough there, because that court merchant, and then we can start this there, and then our last order is going to be signing a general here, this guy there, and that will make him happy as well, just in case we need that for further military operations against Rome. Looking pretty commanding. He is much weaker. Yeah, and we've got ships tied up here, building some more horsemen should we need them. These borders will collapse in 3 turns or so once we finish capturing the city. Probably move one of these in, probably take Zhao, although we will try to kill any chariots that we can. So curious to see how he'll respond. Well, he still has Rome. Rome is going to be producing a lot of training. We're getting really unlucky with our tick rolls, by the way. I would like basically steel, drama, portcullis. Portcullis we can't get until we get drama. But yeah, we're not getting anything. So we'll get cartography. So yeah, we can go with that. And we started that range there. 246 science. Got the master philosopher here, master philosopher here. Each of those is going to be 7 additional science, which is kind of awesome. Subjugator. Yeah, it feels very satisfying to crush all these units. So yeah, and yeah, all right, I'm going to send this one back, see how things go. See if there's any other notes to myself. Nope, I think that's pretty much it. Kind of sucks having to spend that much money, but it's okay. We are not legendary for 2 more years, and we can afford Circus Maximus once we get the civics for it. But we have enough food and stone, so want civics or circus next turn, and then start circus next turn. 2 turns from now. 84 right away. And Frederik is still strong. We don't know how close he is to strong. 11 specialists. Oh, and interesting, Greece is attacking this Assyrian city, which means we've got Greek landing here, which is good to know. Didn't quite notice that. So we could be seeing a Greek attack come from this side, as opposed to up here. So just the fact he's not advancing there is not a sign he's not advancing, so we could anticipate Greeks pouring in here soon. So we'll keep an eye on these cities, and hopefully we'll get a spy master soon, so we can get some agents, reveal some terrain. Probably not going to be able to reveal terrain, probably because we're going to be using everything for stealing research. But yeah, so we'll also have better boats with cartography, which will help a little bit as well. All right, exciting turn, satisfying. Yeah, probably should have not had my ruler go be a governor. Then she would have stayed a zealot. But what can you do? All right, that is a long turn. Gonna send this one back and see how Fluffy responds. Turn 83. Frederik has started construction of the Circus Maximus, sniping it from under us because he got to legendary 1 turn before we did, which is incredibly awkward. Let's go through our events. We could have a funeral procession. We will take mourning. We can get science from the new Assyrian queen, so we'll do that. We resolve the events. From that science, we picked up cartography, so now we will pick up steel. And I'm actually going to go ahead and start an Acropolis here. I'll go through my reasoning at the end of the turn. I'm also going to go start the Temple of Solomon here. Big steel. Scout around here to see what our friends, the Romans, are doing. Hide in a forest, which we're going to make neutral very shortly because we're going to take that city. Still don't know where his hero general is. We're going to actually move in to attack this one. It's worth checking actually where the Roman general is. He is not assigned to a unit, so we know he can't attack us this turn. So we're not going to get that. We're canceling, or rather get treasury there, resolving things, some notes to ourselves, to upgrade to triremes potentially. So TLDR, we took this city, and we are moving on Wasa. We don't really have the training to do so. Because his leader is not assigned to anything, you can see here he has a star, as opposed to ourselves, which has the governor. Babylon also has a star, and then here, governor. If he was a general, we would know, which means he is likely retreated across the sea that we know divides Rome. That's why I have a note to upgrade to trireme in 2 turns when this city flips over, in case we want to go invade Rome. But what I would like to point out right now is we actually have a path to victory on points. We're at 33 points. If we have 21 more points, we win the game. Conveniently, if we look at our city culture list here, so we need to find 21 points. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cities that flip over in 13 years or less. It's 9 points, 9 out of our 21. We'll also build an Acropolis, which conveniently finishes in 13 years as well, lining up nicely. That's another 2 points, so 11. We've started the Temple of Solomon religious wonder here. That's another 2 points, 13. Next turn, we'll come and start the Mankian religious wonder here in the Mankian city. That's 15 points. This wonder is going to finish as well. That's 17 points. We're going to take this Roman city. That's 18. This one, 19. And this one, 20. And conveniently, Wasa also has the pyramids, which themselves are worth 2 points. So 22 points. We don't actually need to invade across the sea. We have sufficient points right now where we are. So long as we don't lose any cities, we can, of course, attack Syria, take some additional cities to get points earlier. But since a lot of things are lining up on 13 years from now, we should win on turn 96. Unless, of course, we lose a city or lose something. So, given that, our priority right now is military strength to be able to hold off any assaults, likely from Frederik, coming from here. The Circus Maximus will not matter because the game is going to end before then. Wasa does matter, so we definitely want to claim Wasa, which we should do. Since he has not assigned his leader as a general, we know we don't have to worry about a launch offensive. And since we killed the majority of his units last turn, we know we don't have to worry about his units either. So, I think that is pretty much it. We are going to get a lot of horsemen. We're going to get our econ up so that we can upgrade a bunch of horsemen into cataphracts as soon as we get cataphracts. Steel is our next thing. Our next choices, we will have drama and martial code. We will pick martial code out of that to get towards our holy war ambition as well. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it in terms of what we would like to do. We've got a lot of stone saved up, which we will want for the Mankian Wonder here, as well as potentially we might want to, depending on our... I don't know that we need the mausoleum. We don't need another wonder. So, yeah, it sucks to lose Circus Maximus, but I think we actually have a path to winning the game before then, thanks to all the wonders that we've amassed at this point. We've crushed Rome as a threat. He's not going to really be able to invade or attack us in any serious capacity. And now I think we need to reposition ourselves to defend against an assault from Frederik. That might involve going to war with Assyria and taking out some of these border cities here. This is a quick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. We're not going to be able to get all those cities. 6 points, actually. Not going to be able to get all those cities. Assyria still has 15 cities somewhere, so that means they've got, in addition to those 6, they've got 9 more up here somewhere. He is slowly attacking Babylon. Looks like Babylon will get that. That'll be points for Babylon, not for our friends, the Greeks. So, yeah, should be pretty interesting. We are also influencing the new head of Manchaeanism who hates our guts, which will hopefully flip them over. I don't really want to deal with dissent. I would like a worker in this city, except for the 12-year build. So we're just going to have to deal with the Christian dissent that I guess came with the city. I don't remember seeing an event for that. And Christianity is also going to be super challenging. We are trying to fix that, but realistically, we probably just should deal with the dissent. We're likely going to try to pick up macemen and get some of these warriors to the front to defend. We need to figure out where we're defending. This can collapse very quickly, so we've got a lot of fronts to defend. Really need to get eyes on Frederik's army. I presume it's here, so we should be able to see it advance here. He may try coming along the coast this way. Ideally, we'll see that coming. We can see any ships anchoring thanks to the vision of Assur. Definitely can see taking some Assyrian cities, potentially. Don't know that I want to go for Roman invasion. It'll probably be very hard fought. Don't really see any benefit to doing so. Rome does have, I guess, a couple more cities. He may have, I think Egypt had 1 more city somewhere around here, and then Rome had 4 cities to start, so yeah. And Wasat counts, so I know Rome had 4 in his core, which means there's got to be another Egyptian city here somewhere, and then this one, of course. So that's the plan. We are going to try to capture Wasat next turn. That's why I moved this guy down here, so that it can sit in there. And then we're just going to try to wall up, get a lot of troops running. That's why we're getting these horsemen up and running. Frederik is similar to us, which is unsettling. He was weaker for a very long time, which implies we need to get some military production going. Here, we're festivaling, which really isn't worth much. We could instead warrior here. I feel like I'm going to be very iron constrained, though, so don't know that I want to do that. You just run the festival, improve the city a little bit. Went for this wonder just because it's the cheapest one in terms of reach. We also will have the holy site for Zoroastrianism. I don't know that we'll be able to produce a worker there and get the holy site built in time, since it's going to take 4 years to capture. At minimum, turn to get the worker out, but it'll be more than that because we won't be able to rush, which means we will not be able to get that religious wonder up, sadly. And we will not be able to fill the dream of all 4 religions with 4 temples and 4 cathedrals, or 4 monasteries in one city. We would, if we do have orders, love to swap to tolerance, although orthodoxy will continue to be useful for rushing things. So definitely do not want to go to war with Assyria, because they are sending us money, and I don't want to deal with Assyria fighting us if we can avoid it. So yeah, I think that's where we are. I see a path to victory on turn 96. I don't really see a way of accelerating it before turn 96, considering the wonder itself is 2 points, and then this city is developing in 13 years, as is this one in 13 years. So we need to find 4 points before 13 years, which we may be able to do. Invading Rome, probably going to take us more than 13 years. We'll see. We can evaluate and continue to evaluate as we go along. Yeah, we basically need to find 4 points in 13 years. So taking some Assyrian cities could do it. To speed it up down to an 8-year victory. Yeah, it just exposes a lot more. Maybe taking that Roman city, that's 1, 2, 3 question mark. Here we're definitely going to come into conflict with Frederik, and he will have coastal movement there, potentially. So, yeah, we could also grab this city here from Assyria. That's a very easy point. So we may have a way to win this game earlier, but I for sure see a path to 13. Victory in 13, I might be able to pull it off in 9 years or so, because we'll want to start at Manchaean Wonder next turn. That is super, super important. We'll start it right there. I think you can build them anywhere, so it works really well for us. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, and that will be an 8-year build. So yeah, turn 92 potentially, depending if we can take cities. Of course, cities will take some time to flip, and we'll need time to get over there and take the cities. Maybe some of these horsemen can do so. unclear. If we can pick 4 cities, pick off 4 cities to speed up potentially. So we will see here. I think that's pretty much it. I think that's the correct play with that. Definitely continue to need more iron for all of our resources. Very interesting here. We hopefully will be able to get the military production up and running that we will need to fight off. We're definitely not getting this, not getting these things up and running. No point in getting this. Just we're doing it for science here. 272 science. We're never going to get drama this game. I think we can get like barding. That's going to be super important. We do have cartography, so yeah, drama and portcullis would be really nice, especially since it would enable us to have a spy master and steel research, which would be very valuable to us and potentially could accelerate, but research is not going to be really gating for us. Yeah, so we're going to see where Frederik can. So how do we lose? Rome somehow counterattacking. Seems like we basically beat back Rome. It's going to be very hard for him to amass forces with which to counterattack. We may need to keep troops here in Waset to prevent that. These appear to be Roman rebels, though, so Rome has some challenges of their own. Babylon, I would be surprised to see Babylon attack in force. So that means really the last threat on the board is Frederik. He is similar, as I mentioned, and basically he could come along here and attack Assur. He could come along here and try to attack. That's just horrible terrain. So, and these Assyrian cities are actually kind of a buffer for us. But if we take 1, 2, 3, 4 cities, yeah, if we find 4 cities, we can potentially speed things up. So yeah, let's go ahead and see how this plays out. Send this back and continue to see if we can find a path to victory or whether Frederik will challenge it. But yeah, disappointed miss the Circus Maximus, but the point total on this game is actually not that high, 54. So should be able to navigate a path there to victory. With our Zealot leader, we've got great mobility. We will hopefully lock in Waset. We've captured Zhao. We don't know that we need to go kill Rome. Rome, of course. If we do take Rome itself, if the lighthouse in there, that's 5 points just for Rome. So Rome itself is 5 points. So that also may be worth it in that Frederik. That also puts us closer to Frederik's forces. But we may continue to push Rome, but you definitely want to build some troops up here all around the front. And we probably will want to move forces to Assur, potentially, 84, something like that. Start massing troops here. And this is where this seems like the most accessible place for Frederik to break. He's like, it's going to be very hard for him to come through. This is horrible terrain. It's very mountainous, hilly. So we're pretty well defended there. Of course, he may have boat access here, which means he could come here. I don't know what this terrain looks like. I presume it actually connects with Rome, not with us. I'm very happy to fight over Rome. Would rather not if I don't have to. Okay, so we're building a lot of horsemen because we want to upgrade them, and we can't build cataphract archers anywhere except for Persia still, which is just kind of horrible. And now we're just building military because I want more military. Yeah, we need troops at this point. We basically need to be able to defend in multiple places. All right, enough rambling. Actually, that was a lot of rambling. Apologies. This was longer than I thought, but just sort of thinking aloud in terms of how to see a path towards victory. All right, see you next turn. Turn 84. Got a bunch of events. We can easily take Waset. We'll resolve the events in a bit here. Just talk through them. We can get discipline from taking funeral rites. We had the choice of getting some training at the cost of legitimacy, but we're pretty good on training. We're getting a farmer and a trapper, so we got that. We're going to pick drama. I mathed it out, and getting drama, since we already have metaphysics, means we'll be able to get portcullis, which means we'll be able to get a spy master, which means we'll be able to get agents, which also means we'll be able to get steel research, which will speed up our research speed more than getting it. So the sooner we get that, the better. Now we're going to move in and take out Waset. Pretty straightforward to do so. Nothing really special to see here. we can just take it down, even though it has walls. We can take it down in one turn since we weakened it a little bit last turn. And we'll put our elite cavalry there. Here, I'm going to start a temple here. Start a temple over here to an order. Here we're going to start the Mankian religious wonder. Here we're going to start a university for 30 extra science in 6 years. Here we're going to start a lumber mill because we are a little light on lumber. Here we're going to start a citadel, and here we're going to start a harbor to connect these two just in case I need to get coastal movement up that way. Here we're going to start a mine because it's super close. Here we're going to start another mine also because it's super close. Here we're going to move this and clear this because we're going to start a citadel next turn, since this is going to be strong next turn. Even though we can't build a unique unit there, I think it's worth starting the citadel for the half order, even though like it doesn't matter right now. Here we're going to start a mine. I always prefer to have more orders than not. And then we will do our last move here, moving this cataphract archer to the west, should we so desire. Is that the right call? Maybe. I can also see a cause for taking Alpteria. I don't really want to go to war with Assyria. I took a 4 legitimacy hit to not go to war with Assyria because I got an event from getting legendary culture that basically told me to go to war with Assyria. The only other options would have been to spend 800 gold that I don't have and don't really want to spend because I don't want to sell anything, and even the stone that I sell won't be enough. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Next turn we'll upgrade some boats. It's these lumber mills that we have here help a bit. There's a couple of them, so that should balance out our lumber costs here. This one should be fine. 4 years for lumber mill. More order efficient than moving down here. So yeah, I think all our mines helped a lot. We're about plus 200, which is good. That means we can build 2 cataphracts, a cataphract every other turn. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 cities that will be capable of building cataphracts. So we can build 2 cataphracts a turn basically. And we will have cities that can build 1 every 4 cities that can build in 4 turns. So that's more than enough to support the cataphract production economy that we want to get up and running. We are going drama first. Next turn we should probably take battle line. I think, and then portcullis will be available the turn after that. You can argue that we should be taking Holy War, but again, Steel Research actually gains us quite a lot of speed because it'll get us around 300-ish research every 3 years. So that's like 100 basically every year, which speeds up more. So it's worth the detour. Drama is 120 and portcullis is 400. So that's 500. That pays itself back in 5 years very quickly. And more importantly, it speeds up getting martial code. And also just agents are going to be so good for visibility. I can drop an agent here and suddenly see what's going on, which I have not been able to do, and it feels really, really bad being blind and not being able to see what's going on. So, all right. So, yeah, we noticed Rome made peace with Assyria. Not entirely sure why. In theory, he could try to get a national alliance, but yeah, that would be interesting. Don't think it matters. You won't be able to force Assyria to declare war on me. Of course, Assyria might naturally declare war on me. He won't be able to move units in the National Alliance, so I'm not really sure why he got peace. Presumably so he can move through Assyrian territory without going to war. I don't know. That is definitely strange. I guess, yeah, he can just walk through the territory instead of having to be afraid. So yeah, maybe he wants to run his scout to the north, see what's going on. I don't know. Really curious about what's going on here. So that's another reason to get portcullis sooner. 4 years here. So we're at 35, 36, 37, 38. Pyramids is 39, 40. This is 42, 44, 46. And then we have a bunch of cities, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. So that is our path to victory in 13 years. And if we want, we can go on an adventure to take out Rome. We don't have to. I think it is worth moving here just to protect our most vulnerable point, which is the sword. I don't see any attacks coming from there. So yeah, we just want to make sure we don't lose any cities. And then we should win in 13 years. So we'll see how things go. No other wonders have started. We can't quite afford the mausoleum. And again, there's really no point apart from wonder denial at this point. Could probably get Pantheon once we have 1800 stone, which is a long ways away. 5 years or so. So yeah, and we'll start the Citadel next turn. Yeah, so probably should have started Necropolis here for min-maxing, but it doesn't really matter. At some point, we're probably going to just stop our worker economy entirely and use all our orders for moving troops around. Maybe next turn, because I don't see myself going attacking anything next turn. We'll do the upgrades. So we'll see. All right. All right, sending this one over. We will see how things go. Turn 85. We are going to... We had a High Synod completed, which we will accept with Christianity, although I'm not really too worried about it because dissent is not that big of a deal. Like, we can deal with a little bit of rebellion. It just doesn't matter. So not going to be too worried about that. I don't think it's actually worth investing the civics for that. Rather have it for rushing things if needed. Next event, we will take some XP from the court warning. And then we have this cool event here where we get Basilian Stone from Strong Culture event. Much better than getting Cursed, potentially. So we'll just take the stone, which is very nice. We could, if we wanted to, start the Pantheon, but we don't need to. If someone else wants to invest resources in it, they can do so. I don't need it for victory, so I don't plan to do so. We'll assign this city to the clerics, and we will start repairing. We'll start some citadels as planned here. Likewise here, start a farm. Here we will start a lumber mill, and here start that citadel. We will go ahead and start a palace here. Originally we were planning to build it here, but since we don't have Circus Maximus, we'll go ahead and build it there. What is that? Here we're going to go ahead and start a lumber mill because we don't have enough wood to upgrade our boats. We will move our horsemen to the far west, I think, eventually. We'll start another horseman. Start an archive there. Might as well get a little bit of science. I think we actually end up going with Fisher here instead of Axeman. You know, I kind of want to preserve my iron for upgrading to Barding when I get it. We'll do a festival here, a scout here, and we'll scout on top of this hill. You see that there's some forest here and also dangerously a Roman boat. We're going to force march and see what's going on. Looks like this Roman boat. From what I recall, from what StBlak shared with me, he's completely walled off from Rome by mountains, which means this boat potentially connects to some scary things on the Roman side. I also noticed that Rome now has his general back on a unit, which to me implies that probably better if I can get rid of this boat. So let's just go ahead and do that. With our cataphract archers, we can kill the boat, and that removes the threat of any sort of Roman invasion. At the same time, we are going to go take that last Roman city and go to the east. We'll make sure we capture Wasset, pulling up that unit that was there, move the others over that way. And then we'll move our own boats in this direction. See what's over here, see if there's any more Roman boats, see what this looks like. And then move this one over here. We'll probably want to upgrade it. Once we get it, we don't have the wood to upgrade right now, and there's really no need to. We might even be able to just port over whatever we have with boats, but I'd like to upgrade to triremes in case Rome has more boats around. Meanwhile, we should be able to take the city, which I think is perfectly walled off. There is a risk here of a Frederik attack angle if he comes here and here. So that might also be worth putting some troops on. Again, I don't really think I want to go after Rome, but the fact that he has his hero leader there, pretty scary. And that's all our moves right now. And we're out of orders. So we could potentially go ahead and decree. I think I do like the idea of a decree, although it's a 2-turn decree, which isn't that great. So I actually like Festival better, because I think getting another scribe here would be very valuable. So yeah, we'll get a Cataphract Archer that we can probably pull to the west as well next turn. We never actually did move this horseman, so maybe we should. But yeah, would love to move this horseman. Maybe we don't prioritize those boat moves. I don't know. I think we're probably okay. We can move the horseman next turn. I don't anticipate there's much of anything in this city. So should be pretty safe to take. If I think that if there had been, he would have attacked this way, and we haven't seen anything. Like, unless he's hiding a ton of forces here, I have a feeling he just is regrouping over in Rome and preparing to attack by sea, which denying that boat will help with. We will want to eventually pull this over to the west. Yeah, so and we'll try to scout what this corner looks like. But I'm pretty sure that was the only sea connection to Rome, maybe, unless he has another one here. I don't know what this looks like. It's important to take the city to get a better idea of that. But I think that's pretty much where we are here. All right, let's go ahead and send this one back. Turn 86. Bunch of events. Doing here. Do last move. We resolved a bunch of events. We had the option of getting, so intercultural celebration, we could have gotten intolerant, which we really, really do not want. So we paid money to improve relationships with this area. It was the culture event from Assyria. Cavalry cult. This is kind of amazing. We got cavalry cult as an event here. This reduces the production time for cavalry by 50%, which is kind of insane. Like, really, really strong. This city is just now going to produce horsemen in 50 training. It's almost like 1 a turn, which is just super duper strong. So yeah, that's really, really strong, especially once we could 1-turn cataphracts potentially. But maybe not, but like 2-turn cataphracts or something. Wisdom literature, we had a choice to get civics, so we took it. And then, yeah, awkwardly, our friends, the clerics, have converted, so we definitely want to convert them back. Next event, we refused an ambition. I think we had an ambition to get some things that we won't be able to fulfill, so we refused that. And then we are going to influence the leader of our Judaism religion. She's a 90, not quite enough, so we can convert these guys back. All right, over here, we're going to scout around. Oh my god, what is going on over here? There is a hero leader. Okay, so good thing we killed that boat last turn. And yeah, let's just, duck back into the forest, see what's going on here. So we're going to wall that off. I don't want him landing. He won't be able to land if we have these troops here. Meanwhile, over here, we're going to go attack, clear this out. And then we'll actually pull up this dude, this warrior, and take with that. And the rest of the guys are actually going to turn around, clear some of this fog. As we suspected, it's a pure wall. And then we're going to sit here and wait for Rome. At the same time, we're going to pull our ships over around. And it looks like Wasset has a tiny bit of coast here, so we can upgrade our ship there, which will be great. And then we'll also pull our other ship forward. Here, we finish this. We're not actually going to start the Odeon here. It doesn't matter. We're 4 years away. It's going to take 4 years to build it. We are going to start one here. That will speed things up a tiny bit for culture in this city, 13 years. And we're also going to send the gems that this city gave us last turn to this city. Probably should have done that last turn, but it's definitely worth doing this turn. Here, yeah, one turn horseman. We're going to scout around what the hell is going on, because I'm curious. I see like attacks. Like what is going on? You may remember settler walking by. I guess that's now going for that city site. Okay, that's good to know that there's a city site there. We could easily go kill that if we so desire for another point. And over here, we are going to move our Cataphract Archer and take the Highlander upgrade just for paranoid purposes. And then our last move over here will be moving this Horseman to the west in case we want to go attack Rome once our boats get over there. I don't know that we will. This looks pretty fearsome. And there's really nowhere for us to land. Yeah, we'll definitely kill the boat. And then we'll need to figure out what the hell we're doing in terms of how we can break into Rome. Because that looks like it's going to be really awkward to break into. Fortunately, we have victory in 10 turns or less. If we can speed this city up, it's 11 years with this finished. Maybe that will speed things up a little bit. Get us 4 extra culture. It'll take 5 years to build because it's the wrong family, which means we'll have 6 years, 3, so 18. Might shave it down by 2, so that may actually give us victory at 9. Yeah, might give us a victory in a year earlier or 2 years earlier. I'm not sure. We can check it out later. Yeah, so we'll definitely want to get some eyes here. I see. I guess he's just clearing Arabs, raiders. I don't know what Assyria is killing here. Very grateful for the tribute that they keep sending us. We will eventually want to get this scout, I think, all the way over here onto the water, see what Frederik is up to. Don't see anything being attacked here. But yeah, definitely want to keep an eye. We will probably want to influence the hunters after we finish converting the clerics back. We want to convert the hunter back. So should be okay. She's just not that religion. Probably should have been following the clerics. It's kind of really busy work to keep track of that. So should have done that. We are getting battle line. We just missed the last turn. We could have potentially min-maxed some things with governors to get that. Doesn't matter in the long run, except for it might in that it's a turn that we are wasting. Not wasting, but since you can only really research one tech at a time. Although it should all work itself out with tech overflow. I don't think it actually matters. I think I would like walls here, and I would like walls in Assur. And we'll probably rush them with civics. Pushpa rush civics on 87. Other notes to myself, Zhao, I think, is going to go to the Statesman on 87. Waset is going to go to Hunter on 88. And Ammonia, probably Clerics, on 89. When we finish this lumber mill, we'll want to start an academy here for science. That's in 2 years. So CAD, Ekbatana, 88. We got wisdom upgrade as well in our leader, which is nice. That ups our science output a little bit more, plus 42%. Discontent, 25 years away. Yeah, and probably move scout onto water. Water, Tyrian Sea. Want to see what's going on. And probably 88, actually. Really want to see what's going on over here. This is troubling, but I think we can control it, but it's going to make invading really painful. What are all these upgrades? Warden? They're really hard to break into Rome. Fortunately, we don't need to. So we'll think about whether we want to. We could always just keep OE Assyria, but we're going to have to keep something here to keep denying Rome coming back in with a vengeance. So, yeah, we did the Odeon, and we sent gems here, which is great to speed up the culture in that city, since that is the outlying city here at 11 years. If we can pull that down to faster than that, that'll be great. This monk should finish next turn here, which would be great. We don't have any workers over there or any real way to build workers. Always send one of these up and build an Odeon or something. I don't know that it will actually matter. Might shave off a turn or two. We will eventually want to upgrade our macemen and move them towards Assur. I'd like to get better vision of what's going on. Presumably Frederik has some sort of boat here. Don't know that he can chain boats over there. These two cities are still not controlled by Frederik. We do see Roman borders here. So Rome, in theory, could come through here. He does have peace with Assyria, but this implies, especially with that hero leader there, that his units are there. We did put a Kata Archer here for paranoia purposes. Our goal next turn is ideally get Portcullis. We're not guaranteed to get it. We'll have training boost for sure because it's the draw pile, and then we're gonna 3 out of those 5. So 60% chance for Portcullis. If we don't get Portcullis, we will probably take training boost because it's a very fast cycle. We may even take free settler because in theory we could. We're real assholes. We could claim the city site from Assyria and drag a settler up there with free settler. Don't think we'll do it because it's probably going to be easier just to take it. That idea is pretty damn delightful. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Assyria will war deck me if I do that, so I don't want to do that. But it is kind of a hilarious idea. Yeah, so we took this last city, which is great. Now Rome is back to their 4 that they had behind the mountains. We've undone the entire Egyptian expansion of Rome. We can potentially come back, take some of these cities. I think it's worth pulling this over to like threaten Rome. We do need to get an eye on where Frederik's forces are. Fortunately, we're zealots, so we have decent movement around, which means we might be able to pull things back or so. Yeah, so we'll probably put some festivals in here. We might decree next turn the overflow. Colossus is coming as well, which will help. We'll get the Citadel up and running, which will give us some orders as well. Eventually love to get that. Yeah, so I think our next specialist is going to be there. Kind of unfortunate this family flipped on us. We do have a lot of units with that family, so that is they're now 5% strength less. But Rome looks like their families are also pleased, only, or at least the ones that I can see. These are statesmen, champions. So actually the statesmen are upset. So yeah, so we still have parity or an advantage there. All right, so we'll build this, which will hopefully speed that up a little bit. Keep pulling this over here, upgrade this boat, take out that boat, and then begin planning how to invade Rome, potentially. Don't know that we will be able to. It looks really, really rough. If we're able to get an anchored ship, though, we might be able to, but like, I don't know if there's another tile there. You'd have to like squeeze in, then he's going to launch offensive on our face, unless we can kill this. So I don't know that we'll be able to actually invade Rome. We may want to just go take things off Assyria, or just wait for our 10 years or 9 years if we can shave things off by speeding up some of these cities. So yeah, currently this is our 10-year Cultura. They're going to have an Elder Monk, which should hopefully speed things up a little bit. And here we're going to have an Apprentice Monk, which should hopefully speed things up a bit. So check Cultura next turn. Cultura needs to be less than 9 year, which would be great. Right, so yeah. Don't think it's going to be worth tutoring our daughter because we are 28. Always probably worth. We should have enough money to do it. Yeah, so paranoia there on that wonder. We don't want to get canceled. Probably paranoia. Put something in Persia next. Really want to get the scout over here, and then something like bust this fog, see what's up over here, and then maybe go out onto the water. See what's going on. Frederik is frugal, ruthless, poet, scholar, with a judge ruler, adopted, didn't have any kids, I guess. And then Fluffy's ruler here, he has 9-year-old zealot and tactician, and then yeah, he's general here. So yeah, doesn't look like Rome can land. If he comes closer, we can of course strike quite a ways. I think he can actually go here, but we can actually block all of that off thanks to having enough units. Probably pull some of these units west, maybe pull them into Wasset, heal everyone up, upgrade boats, and then figure out how we want to invade. Again, I don't think we need to invade, but I think it is worth at least keeping Fluffy honest, and importantly, not looking like we're just sitting back and trying to win on points, even though we are sitting back and trying to win on points. All right, I have babbled on long enough. And yeah, I think anything else we'd like to do? We could, are there scholars, decent scholar here? I don't know that, I want to save a scholar for Spymaster, especially a scholar of that family, because we don't have anyone of that family. So yeah, and then that way I can get some agents up. Especially love to get an agent into Greece. Babylon should recapture here. So yeah, not really sure what these dudes are. Hopefully we'll see. We might get punted if he settles. We do remember that settler kind of wandering by. So yeah, and this worker, not sure why it's building a road. Meanwhile, hello AI, there's some horses who probably should improve. I don't know how bad Assyria's economy is. Probably pretty bad right now. Okay, so it looks like we blocked off this landing. He can't land. And then we're going to pull up a boat, probably upgrade 2 turns or so. Yeah, it's 100, freaking 100 wood. We just don't have that wood income, but we're getting some more lumber mills online. This, I think, is incredibly fortunate, Cavalry Colt, because now you can see the horseman costs 50, which is just what usually costs 100, now costs 50. So yeah, that's really, really good. Cool. All right, that's it for this turn. Sending this one back. Turn 87. We've got a bunch of events. We could get the younger son of Mojo's family, which will give us some legitimacy and some opinion. It's a developing culture event. This just hit developing. 20% ain't going to make it matter, so we'll take the son. Here we have a choice of persecuting Zoroastrianism, but that is not great. It'll give us dissent. We really don't want to deal with that. Or we could basically single-handedly fix our opinion with Zoroastrianism by pissing off the Persian pagans, but they actually love us because their leader is in love with us. So yeah, we can definitely improve our opinion with Zoroastrianism. We could get a free theology enlightenment, which is not that great. Basically 2 happiness per city per year for elder monks. So that actually is notable for where we are. But honestly, again, we're shooting towards the end of the game. Discontent doesn't matter right now. The wisdom is actually going to be significant. So we'll take the wisdom there. Tech-wise, we did not get either the techs that we were hoping for. We were hoping for ideally Portcullis, failing that martial code. Given that, we're going to take training boost just to cycle since it's only 100 science. And then our ambassador has died and our governor has died. And we're going to give that family, we're going to give that city to the statesman. So resolving all these events and hopefully not breaking my undo queue. All right, we'll do all those events. And now let's see here. Rome continues to have this thing here. I don't think he can move in. We should be able to block the coast. We'll probably want to pull these units over. Here we see Assyria AI did indeed found a city, as we suspected they might. Awkwardly, our scout bumped, but we're going to move our scout west. I really want to get eyes on the ocean. I don't see any of these other cities falling, and I don't know what Frederik's doing. He is weaker right now to us, which is interesting because I guess we got some unit production and bumped us over. Yeah, he's probably the biggest remaining threat. Rome, we should be able to keep contained. I will want to upgrade ships and attack over here, ideally taking out that ship, but it may be really challenging to land. This is very mountainous. He can probably just block all our landing points and continually threaten invasion while he has a boat. And I might not be able to actually land, so that's fine. We don't care. We're not going to try to invade Rome. We have a path to victory without it. But right now our goal is to patch up anywhere we can lose the game. So we definitely want to get walls up in Sur. Start walls in Tushpa as well, in case there's like a lightning strike towards it. I think we'll be fine here. Yeah, everything else seems okay. Babylon is probably going to slowly go against Dilbat. They're going to be slow since they're pretty weak right now. So yeah, again, we could eat the Assyrian cities, but there's no need to do so. And also, since we finished here, Nispis dropped from, it was going to be 9 years. It is now 6 years. And Keturah, thanks to Elder Monks, dropped from 9 to 8. And then Menifer is at 9. So it's tied with this. So assuming we can speed up Menifer by a turn with this Odeon, which is very possible, we may actually have a victory turn faster than the Wonder, which would be ideal, because then it's a surprise. People will think, he's got 9 years in the Wonder, but I actually win in 8 years. So I think if we can speed up with Menifer with that Odeon, which I think we will, knock off a turn. I haven't done the math, but I'm 95% sure. Then we should have victory on turn 95, which would be splendid. All right, let's play the rest of the turn. I'm going to chop. I need wood badly, very, very badly. We're never going to build a ministry here. We might as well build an academy, actually. I'm going to go ahead and start that. Yeah, it's the wrong family worker to do that, but it doesn't matter. There's no worker available from this family, and this lumber mill guy can go build a hamlet or something. Don't really care. In theory, you could also just start idling workers to get even more orders for flexibility, but no need to. I think we can actually maintain economy until we see combat. I don't think there's a point idling workers. And getting some more money will be nice, especially once we have Holy War up and running. So we'll start the academy for another 8 science, which will potentially help. Can't hurt. We'll pick an ambassador. This guy's ill. Hopefully he won't die on us. Awkwardly, hunters are 2 points away, but fortunately not in combat anywhere. We'll try to convert the hunter leader, and as well as convert the clerics back. We're just want to produce that single turn worker, single turn horseman, thanks to that insanely strong cavalry cult shrine. We're actually now going to start upgrading all our warriors to macemen. This is going to bleed through a lot of our iron stockpile, and food is actually our huge shortcoming right now. But that will get us some macemen. Macemen should be good on the front. Should we have to try to deal with a last-ditch panic attack from Frederik or something to try to take a city. If I see him trying to take any city, I can imagine moving along the coast here, potentially, or penetrating here. This feels a little awkward. It's going to be easier for me to defend here. This terrain is just brutal to walk across as well. Like, I will see him coming. I definitely need to get eyes where he is. I know he took this city, so that means he's going to be going to one of these 2 cities. Considering he probably, yeah, I don't know what his vision looks like. I guess he could come this way and like try to attack me here, but he knows, presumably they're all communicating at this point. He knows I have a lot of troops there, which to me implies that he'll probably come this way, but I don't know. I definitely need to get vision, see what's going on. We'll continue upgrading all these things to macemen, picking appropriate promotions where possible. We'll move a horseman over there. I know Frederik has horsemen, so I'm going to try to take anti-cav wherever I can. Presume, especially since he went for Lurx Maximus, he's trying to get cataphracts. He may actually beat me to cataphracts, which can be very, very scary. So we will see here. I don't know what his science looks like. He is competent. It's part of the reason I would like to get steel research up and running so I can continue to finesse my science lead. I don't know where he is on science. I do know that he has 13 specialists in his capital, which means he's pure playing his capital where I'm dual using it, where I have to do military production as well out of it. But I think that's the right call. Again, victory looks to be 8 or 9 years away. So yeah, remove the scout over here. I'm going to have it go onto the sea next turn since I do have exploration. Repair damage in that city. We will... we're just assigning cities here. Signing an apprentice officer. I think I actually will go back and forth on that. Yeah, I think I'm just actually going to get an archive for extra science. I don't need any more specialists there, and food is so precious to me right now. And stone is cheap. We'll start walls there, just naturally building. We'll pull this back, upgrade, buying some wood. We now have a trireme, and we're going to promote. We had 30 training away to get a seaborne one. And then this promotion, I think we have, yeah, we'll have combat and strike. Probably we'll get strike on it next turn, and we'll see what promotions. Yeah, so just out of curiosity, what can we do here? With this trireme, can do 9 damage, and this bireme can do 8 damage, but this bireme with seaborne can do 8. Presumably with seaborne upgraded, it should be able to do 11, which means I'll be able to one-shot that, which would be very nice. And if not, I can always, I can check it next turn as I move things over. It's going to take me a little bit of time to round whatever the corner of this land is. I presume there's a way around here. I don't know. That could be a very, very, yeah, I mean, Donut is an island, so it should be. We can always assign a general if need be. Ideally someone with attack. Okay, we don't actually have anyone with attack. We can always assign ourselves as a general, which is kind of crap. But strike potentially can help as well with that trireme if we need a little boost. I think strike will take us to 10. So, and then seaborne is 20%, so that will definitely deal damage. We'll start walls here, yep. And we're actually going to rush them with training. I'm going to get 800 training from the training boost and producing 151 a turn. Civics is probably super precious to me. Also, no one's rushed in this city with training, and they rushed with civics twice. So all that leads me to go civics. I do now have a lot of horses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which means I would like to upgrade as many of these to cataphracts as I can. I don't have that much resources stored up. I may just hard build cataphracts, honestly, but we'd love to upgrade some. Really, really badly need food. We can buy food. It's not that cheap. It's going up in price. It probably will continue to go up in price, but we'll see here. So, all right, continue troop movement. Actually going to pull all these forces back west because I do want to try invading Rome, or just to have forces there. We'll see if we see eyes on any of these cities falling. We'll know potentially if like this one falls, we probably need to angle back east. This one falls, we can continue planning on a soar here. Here we're going to move this horseman over here, just sort of concentrating forces, and likewise we'll move this horseman that we forgot to move. It will eventually move. What did we do here? Oh yeah, I took a promotion, and then I moved this horseman over here. Look, I just look at the gorgeousness of Zealot and Coastal Movement. This horseman basically goes so far along Coastal Movement, because Coastal Movement gets you 9 tiles of movement, which is just insanely strong. Like, yeah, Coastal Movement, you can see from that 4 to that 3, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tiles in between the 4 and the 3. So that's just super strong, and we can get up here and potentially start invading. He also has horsemen. So everyone's going for horse. So another reason to go anti-horse if we can, if we see anyone in those promotions. Cataphract Archer probably will hang around Persia, just as paranoia. I'll probably pull these over next turn. We'll actually do that move now. And then our last promotion, I think, is... Our last move here is, I think I pick a promotion. Yeah, I'm going to pick Heckler, because he's got generals, and I know especially as a hero leader. Then I think I swap this to Decree. I want some more movements. I don't really care about festivals right now. Marginal Science is not going to matter in this city. 9 orders would be very, very useful. I could start moving this warrior up north. I could move some of these horses up north. I can even start pulling the jabs north as well if I have resources to do so. Why not, right? Like, get everyone on the front, protect the store as much as possible. Really, really curious what's up with Frederik. We are 8 to 9 years away on victory. Menifer is at 10.3, and we'll in 4 years. So it's currently 9 years away, and in 4 years it will have 3.6. 3.6 over the remaining 5 years. Will be at least 15 culture, which is more than the culture it gets right now, which means it will actually shave off a turn, which means we have victory in 8 years. Okay, that is it for Undo Stack, and for this turn. The Academy here is Useful Science. Not sure what's going on with that border display bug. That's kind of weird. But yeah. Definitely need food. Food. Food with workers. Balancing econ is always interesting. We're probably okay on iron right now, especially since we're pretty much done with our masonment upgrades, which are 150 each. So now we need food, because food is far below. And then, yeah, the city is just producing horsemen in 2 turns, which is amazing. So yeah, we are going to see what we can do here. Basically going to have 2 fronts, one against Frederik and one against Fluffy. But they might try collapsing those fronts by having Frederik come down here and but I mean, I want to get rid of this boat and I want to invade the city. And if I can take Rome in fewer than 8 years, realistically though, I'm not going to be able to take Rome in 2 years, in 3 years. Like, it's going to take me probably 4 or 5 years to capture Rome. Rome is strong. Wassat, I think, was 4 years. So let's say 4 years. That means I have to capture Rome in 4 years. It's going to take me at least 2 more turns to get a boat around here, anchor it. It seems like it's really going to be challenging to get Rome done in 8 years. So this may just be a defensive position. But I definitely want to kill the boat just so that I can control the sea. And also Frederik's capital is up there, also accessible by boat, as potentially another flank. But definitely need to get troops here. Need some sort of concentrated troop order. We're getting there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 troops in this area generally, with an 11th on its way. We could move this one north as well, and we've got 2 more. So that'll be like 15 units there to complement 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10-ish or so there. So yeah, feeling pretty good there. Holding 2 fronts on Old World is always going to be challenging. We don't want to attack, but defensively we should be able to hold there. The walls will help so sword doesn't fall randomly. The terrain actually is to our advantage here. And it's going to take him some time to move in and collect cities, so this may be just paranoia on my part. Definitely not attacking Assyria. I definitely want Assyria to keep giving me money and ideally not have to deal with their forces. Like, it would really suck if he was coming around and pillaging. I had to burn orders on killing that. So really lucked out with Mojo resigning and having him go to AI, which then let me, he offered truce and tribute, which let me focus entirely on Rome. The game would have been very different had I been tied up trying to fight an angry Mojo, who probably would have been, I don't know, focused on making me pay for attacking him, as opposed to the AI, which was like, okay, here's some money, go away. And that, to my advantage, let the AI focus on Frederik and to a lesser extent Babylon. So yeah, training boost next turn. Hopefully we will get Portcullis. Would really love Portcullis. Should be a turn research because it costs 400 and we are 370 a turn or so, with going to have some overflow. So yeah, Portcullis will be a 1-turner. Martial Code will be okay. Would really prefer Portcullis. Just because that'll get me science stealing up and running. Be able to steal twice, I think, which will get me 300 science, which more than pays for the cost of Portcullis. There's some risk there in that martial code. I will have to pick another filler tech in order to get barding. So you could make the case for faster barding. It's actually more important to get martial code and then take Portcullis as the filler tech and then barding. We will see what gets on offer. Obviously, if we only have martial code offer next turn, then that makes the decision for us. I'll have to actually sit down and math that out. Super minor optimizations. All right, been babbling on for 15 minutes, so I'm going to send this turn back. See you next turn. Turn 88. Rome has anchored a boat here, which we will block off the coast with since we can't kill it yet. It is a bireme. So yeah, I've actually mathed things out, and because of the way assimilation works, assimilation is the penalty you get for capturing a city that's not your own. So you can see here it's minus 20%, 7% for assimilation. It ticks down 1% per turn. That means Menifer will actually get to developing not in 7 years, as the tooltip says, but because the Odeon will complete and assimilation will tick down, it'll actually be done in 5 years on turn 93, which should be enough points for me to win on turn 93. We will put Keturah as backup if I build an Odeon and send the gems from there, and then also send dies that are here to Keturah. Then we will get there as 94, and this of course will finish on 96. So we should win a little bit before our wonder. Let's do our events. We could become ruthless, or we could piss off the head of Judaism. We'll piss off the head of Judaism. I like martial code. My thinking here is Frederik just got martial code on his laws. If I can share that tooltip, always tricky to show. You see it there, Holy War. So I want to get parity. I know he has horses because I've seen one there, and he's also getting Circus Maximus, and he's also Greece, which means he has kind of a natural pikeman unit. So it makes sense for him to go Cataphracts. Cataphract Greece, very, very strong. Because he can counter your Cataphracts, and you don't have a way to counter his. So yeah, Cataphract Greece, very strong. So I think I'm going to go martial code. I also have a lot of overflow. This is in 500 because I took training boost last turn. And it'll also complete my ambition, which is nice. And now I have pyramids, so that's just a 200-year enactment. And getting the Holy War law will also be helpful. So let's go ahead and advance turns. More events here. We could pay money to get family opinion, so we'll do that for 2 legitimacy. That seems fine. We could pick up some discipline for people not being in love with us, which is great. That improves our money situation quite a bit. And then yeah, we go ahead and pick martial code. All right, so next we are going to chop some wood because we badly need wood. There's no point starting lumber mills if we think we're winning the game in 5 turns. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to go upgrade a boat so we can kill that Roman boat. We're going to move our other boat next to it and get strike on it to get an extra point of attack. Then we're going to cover everything on the shoreline, on the coast, so that Rome can't land. We've blocked every single tile he could have units on. Fortunately, we have enough units. We're going to go start that Odeon here. Here we are. Yeah, I think that was what moving. Yeah, it was moving that warrior up. Here we're going to chop aggressively, basically clear cutting these forests. I guess they are now just in fields. And then we will chop there and also start a road. I'd like to economize on orders, so I'm going to build a road up to Assyria just so I can build troops up there, because I think that's where the fighting is going to be. We'll move our scout around, see what Frederik is up to. We see he has a Byrene here, half damage. So we'll definitely want to get some boats up ourselves. And he's got a lot of maces and also some phalanglites. He is still weaker than us. So we'll ensconce ourselves here in this forest and keep an eye on what he's doing. I expect this city to fall next turn. This city has also fallen. Unfortunately, don't have a scout that I can send over there. I have this scout here. This scout is going to be busy with Frederik. We'll start archives everywhere for additional science. We'll keep going decree where we can get decrees. We'll also start archive here, I think. I think I'm probably actually going to change that back to archive, but I'll change it after this. Go to minor here. Doesn't matter. We should win the game before then. Trireme, which we're going to rush out with training because I want to get boats up. Archive there. And we're going to put a horseman into Wasa just out of paranoia. We're going to move our scout out, see what's up. It is indeed a Byrene, and then we'll hide in this forest. We are going to pull this worker up to help build our road effort. So we have 3 workers, so it'll speed it up a little bit. If it was just 2, they would take longer because there's 5 tiles to go. So 3 will make it 2 turns, whereas 2 it would have been 3. And we'll move this guy all the way over here to keep defending our sewer. And then we'll chop with our last turn and then set ourselves some reminders about moving gems on turn 91, upgrading this warrior to a maceman. Do we go mace here? Realistically, this maceman, this warrior is going to what? 1 move, 2 move, 3 move, 4 move to the front? I think I can probably do like 1 more maceman. But after that, probably we'll get archive in that, just because this is just too far away to be useful. Here we will probably swap to Cata Archer next turn. Probably have enough horsemen, and I definitely want some more Cata Archers in the north. Likewise here, Cata Archer probably will do 1 more since we can get it to the north, and then we'll probably swap to decrees. We'll see. We'll have to decide next turn. Decide on Cata Archers. Probably we'll get them because I'd like to have some more, especially for the line. I flirted with the idea of putting these macemen here and trying to fortify them. Problem is it takes 5 years to fortify, and it's an order every single turn, and I'd probably want to build forts, and realistically just not going to be viable. I definitely want to get critical mass of boats out, so I'm probably going to trireme every turn. Rush, trireme, sewer, basically every turn. I have no other places to get triremes from, apart from Asur. He can, of course, buy them with Holy War. I will be able to do that in a second here. I don't remember if I did 91, so I'll just do it again. Yeah, so it's kind of weird that they showed the map, at least the way I use them, but oh well. Family, religion, all this stuff, not going to worry about it. I have a Chancellor mission finishing influencing the clerics, and then everyone else is pretty much okay. As long as they don't convert to some godforsaken religion that hates me, I think we'll be okay. Persian paganism loves me, and this family is pretty safely Judaism. So no concerns there, not going to waste civics there. Yeah, we're going to get triremes out of Asur and mass, because I definitely want to have control of the sea. Imagine Frederik will try to one-shot Asur or something. I don't know that he realizes how close I am to winning, that I'm 5 turns away from winning. Partly because Colossus hasn't quite hit, and then I've got these 2 religious wonders that are coming on turns in 4 turns, 3 and 4 turns, and then Keturah is going to be 6 turns away after that, and then Mennefer is going to be 5 turns away. So should win on turn 93 thanks to Mennefer. Next turn we will have Colossus finish, so that'll give me another 3 points, putting me at 47. And if I've done the math right, here's how it will go down. We will have, right now we're on 44, turn 89, the Colossus will finish, and we'll capture Amunia, which will be 47 points. Turn 90, culture in Shiraz, so this city, will flip over on turn 90, which is 2 turns away. That'll put me at 48 points. On turn 91, 3 turns away, we will finish the Temple of Solomon, 50 points. On turn 92, Khao Khan will finish. That's 4 turns away, 52 points, 2 points away from victory. On turn 93, Nisibis will, that's 5 turns away, will go up to culture. And if I've done the math right with assimilation, Menifer should also go up to culture, and that'll put me at 54 points on turn 93. As fail-safes, I have the Necropolis, and I have Keturah with my Odeon that I'm setting up here. Really criminal of me not to get Odeons until so late into the game. Really criminal, but I think it's going to be really hard for Frederik to take Assur in one shot. So we'll see. I expect this boat to like move over here or something, which might give me an option to snipe it, but I'd rather get critical mass of boats. He probably has more boats. So I'd be surprised if he goes one boat. We'll also need to take care of Rome here. These forces are very tied up, but we're basically buying time right now. Frederik, not sure what he has here. We might want to move a scout around if we can somehow. See what's going on. Presumably, though, he's going to come towards Assur. Once he realizes I'm at risk of winning the game. I feel like that's more likely. I don't know if there's actually a pass here. We'll see vision. If there is a pass here, right, I can see how this is pretty terrible terrain. And he'll also have to go through Nineveh to do it. So Assyria is, again, being a meat shield for me. And then Rome, there's no way in hell we're invading. But we are going to take control of the sea and threaten invasion. And mostly just make it so that he can't invade us. I don't want to have these units tied up. So fortunately, next turn, we should be able to move here. This is a seaborne unit, so that can go there. And this one can attack here, and that will be an easily one-shot that, or two-shot it. And then we'll look to kill that one next turn, though I imagine he'll retreat it into the city. I don't know that I'll anchor. I don't really want to attack him. So we might anchor just to make him think we're going to attack him. And keep him focused that way. But we're definitely not going to try to invade Rome. There's no point doing so. So yeah, I think 2 more Kata archers, then we'll probably swap to Decree in Persia on turn 92. Something like that. Can also start rushing very aggressively in Persia if need be for Kata archers. Although it feels really bad to rush if it's a 3-turn build. In theory, we should be rushing in Hatra. But I can't build Kata archers in Hatra for 3 years, but that's also a consideration. Kata archer Hatra on turn 91 and 92. That's the best place to rush because it's the worst production of up north. We didn't have time to get the double elder officer, double apprentice officer build, and yeah, we might as well. But yeah, we will have this road, which will give us some mobility. Importantly, it will also give Frederik mobility into our lands, should we decide to fight there. This army comp is actually pretty nasty for us because we have a lot of horse. His unique unit is a problem, but I think time is on our side. He needs to take a city. We need to not lose a city. And even if we did lose a city, even if we did lose Assur, or anywhere we don't have a wonder, Assur would be 2 points. But like this wonder will eventually kick in for us, and then Keturah on turn 94, and assuming that math is right, and then yeah. So, all right, let's go ahead and send this back. It's definitely shaping up to be an interesting close of game, but according to my math right now, I think I win on turn 93 with Menifer coming online. And I don't know that this makes sense to do. Slothful strict. It does give me a tiny bit of, but I don't think it makes a difference. Again, Menifer. The way assimilation works, again, is you go down by 1%, so this would be minus 27%. So Menifer has a base 15.5 culture, thanks to me sending it at City Luxury. The Odeon will finish in 3 turns. You don't get points for the Odeon the turn it finishes. You will get points the next turn. So just to walk through here, we're going to get 15.5 scaled down by 27% this turn, and then next turn scaled down by 26%, then by 25%, and the Odeon will finish, and assimilation will be at 24. Truth be told, did the math, and according to the math, we should be at 115 culture on turn 93, which means we will pop over. All right, let's send this one back and see how folks respond, and see if we can get rid of these ships, control the Western Front, see what Frederik is up to. Now we finally have eyes on him. See when those horsemen get upgraded to cataphracts, because that's going to be terrifying. I don't see any horsemen right now. I see one here. Presumably he has more horsemen somewhere. He may be pulling them back to upgrade them or something. He did just pick up Holy War, which implies he doesn't have a cataphracts, because I would imagine if he hit Barding, he would immediately upgrade. But maybe he's upgrading them somewhere else. He is still weaker than us, which also bodes well. If we see a big power spike where he's suddenly similar, that also might mean that he gets cataphracts. We are going towards cataphracts ourselves. Best case, we have them in 7 years, so after we win the game, so it doesn't matter. All right, let's go ahead and send this one back. Turn 89. Looks like Fluffy has retreated his boats. Perhaps he had vision on Wasat, maybe he has an agent in there, and saw my triremes, and now is backing away. That suits me just fine. Also, I did the math, and it turns out Menifer, if I send it some salt that I just got from conquering Wasat, or no, conquering here, Amunia, this salt that's developed, I can actually speed it up to turn 92, and also doing the math, double checking on Nisibis, this is actually going to be ready in turn 92 as well, because the simulation is going to tick down. So let's go ahead and do that. We will complete the Colossus, gain legitimacy from that. We'll pick Wisdom for our heir. We're not going to tutor her. There's no point. We're winning the game in 3 turns. And that we'll assign a new ambassador just to make the statesman happier. It doesn't really matter. So we assign that salt to Menifer, which will actually speed it up by a turn. Thanks to that salt, we should be... I'll go through the numbers after I finish the turn. I don't want to lose my undo stack. Interestingly, we have coastal movement here. I guess he's blocking with that worker so that I can't easily do that. Don't care. We will start a horseman here. We'll rush out a cataphract archer because it's probably the last one we're able to use. Start a trireme and rush it out there. Start decree here and assign a judge so that we can one-turn that decree. Move things up and upgrade that maceman. Start forts here. I want to just wall this off. I thought about walling off further up. Feels like that's too aggressive. It also potentially you can come and kill it. This way I'll be fully defensive. I can probably defend Assur if need be. It has walls. I have some units there. I have more units there. I can always send units up if need be. 3 turns. I don't want to alert him that I'm this close to winning that I need him to start rushing me immediately. I think he's still on the Eat Assyria Alive plan. So I don't want to give the game away, so to speak. Setting everything else to council, pretty much. We are getting to the point of being close to win. We are going to move our scout around, see what's going on. So he's got a lot of units here. We can, but notably they are 6 strength. This healing implies to me that he potentially wants to upgrade it to a kata, or it was just injured and needs to heal. Not sure. But he might have kata. Don't know. I don't see any kata. This, I feel like, would have been upgraded to kata or moved away. I'm not sure. Interesting Roman boats there. So clearly Rome and Greece are collaborating. What can you do? I'm going to move my units back, heal a little bit. Or at least move them to healing range. Let's scout around and see what's up there. Looks like he's got a boat hiding there. I'll put it back into my forest here. I'll remind myself to upgrade the warrior here to amazement next turn. Just don't have the iron for it and don't want to burn gold on it right now. So gonna keep an eye on this. This may be challenging here, but like you still got to chew through at least 1 city and then a very slow march here. That's just gonna be super painful. Or through here, very slow march again. Super painful. I could try to get macemen on all these spots, but like, what is that gonna do? So we'll move this horseman over here, just towards there. Pick up an upgrade. Selling stone here. Chopping, because we have orders to burn and forests to chop. Might as well. No reason not to. That'll at least let me fuel boats in Assur for 2 more boats. So chopping up to, I guess, 200, 300, something like that. We should be winning on turn 92, so 3 turns. Actually going to get a scout out as well, rushing it with civics. The rationale behind the scout there is I really want to have vision. This scout is going to be committed here, so this other scout's probably going to move here or here. I just want to keep eyes on his army, and walls finishing a turn later is not going to hurt at all. Whereas getting a scout early is going to be quite nice. Move to spot. So I think that's okay. We're buckling down here. He can obviously take this city. Doesn't look like he's quite attacking the city yet, but obviously I don't have vision there. I would love to move this scout east as well, if I can, although I'm not going to have a way to get through Assyria's borders, so that may not be feasible. I do not want to war deck Assyria. We will keep an eye on what's going on with Roman boats, but as long as he doesn't anchor next turn or the turn after, as long as it doesn't anchor next turn, I don't care. If he anchors on 91, I win on 92. All right, so I promised I would talk about the numbers here and the reason I'm sending the salt here. So we are making base 17.5 here at Mennefer. We sent the salt here because we got 2 city luxuries. We're making base 17.5. We are currently at 38.9. Oh no, actually I just realized Mennefer will not be quite enough on 92. But it might be enough. Because these dies can't return for 2 years. So on 91, we can send the dies. We send the dies on 91. The Odeon is going to complete next turn. An error in my spreadsheet. But then I forgot about the... No, we're at 7. I think we're actually good. We're good. We are good. Yeah, we should be good. We can potentially send this, but we should get it on 92. So, and Nisibis is actually going to be a little faster than this shows because the simulation is going to tick down. So it's going to go 11.8, 12, 12.5, 12.8, and that'll be enough. So it's not 4 years, it's actually 3 because that is ticking down. All right, I think that concludes the turn. We are 3 turns away from victory. We will win right when this completes. So we'll Paranoia move Amazement into Persia. Don't really see any way for Persia to fall. You never know though. But yeah, we're gonna keep building triremes in Assur. Just to finesse, secure everything that we need. And that's pretty much it here. Potentially Rome could invade. Can't invade if he builds a bireme here, which I don't think he even can. So there, I could build a bireme here or a trireme, doesn't matter. We are not going to try to push Rome. I don't want to deal with boat combat. If he wants to anchor, I'll come kill it. But I don't really care about invading Rome. We're good. Just want to secure our front. Actually have pretty defensible lines here. So yeah. We keep the peace with Syria. Roxana, new daughter, 3 daughters now. This will sit here, but obviously can come defend Assur if needed. But realistically, there's not that much time to act. Even if they rush towards Karai, right? Like he needs to take a city before 92. So either get in a position to be taking a city on 91, which means being basically up at a city 90. It feels like it's going to be pretty challenging. So should have smooth sailing, fingers crossed, knock on wood. All right, let's go ahead and send this one back. Yeah, really interesting math with assimilation there in Mennefer. And then we will consider where math out Shiraz luxury on 91. Any other luxuries that we've got floating around? We are sending salt to Frederik. We'll keep doing that. If he cancels it, I did start family gifts to the Mithrids, which will actually not matter at all. So that was a waste of money. I'm not going to undo my entire term. And we influenced the Chancellor, who's also the head of the Mithrids. That one might matter. We would drop 50 points from losing that one. So not enough to turn us, but better safe than sorry. Yeah, and I have Katura. Katura is not going to matter. It's safety. Same with this wonder, safety. So we should win in 3 turns on turn 92. All right, let's send this back.
Alright, so turn 90, once again a post-turn report. I already played it, had a few decent events pillaging my tiles. So I regained Babylon, so I'm getting a little bit better. Of course I'm very small, everyone is much stronger than me. Well, everyone that's still in the game. Mojo quit, so we now have an AI controlling Assyria. I'm planning to mount an attack against the Dilbat and regain my former land. And after that I'll be moving against either the Sharkin or Rezen, which will be slow because they're both champion cities, or possibly in the north as well. Of course Mojo settled champion cities all along the border, so they will be hard to take. But I should be able to make progress. There are a few specialists in each of these cities, so that should improve my economy a little bit. Dilbat in itself has a few officers as well, which would be good for that. Of course I'm hopelessly behind everyone, everyone's erudite as well, but still makes sense, and anything I gain is still VPs that someone else isn't getting at the moment. There's been heavy fighting in the south, so Persia has conquered 3 ex-Egyptian cities which were controlled by Rome recently, and Frederik has been moving on against the northern part of the southwestern part of Assyria, so we'll be gaining victory point that way. Rome has fallen back, as I understand, from the Persian assault, but they seem to be stalled. I don't know what's in the fog. Still haven't met Rome. I've infiltrated Assyria and Persia. I'm now infiltrating Greece, so I should have a better view of the map layout. I'll be failing this ambition almost certainly. And yeah, I'm regrouping, finally getting some of those Akkadian archers. My bank has been quite diminished because I've sent, I don't know, probably 2,000 resources at this point to Frederik. That will definitely have to slow down at one point, but yeah, I'll have to repair my economy a bit. So it's tempting to go for Dilbat and Rezen, although having a border with Persia isn't the most reassuring things. He's been rushing Trireme, so control of the sea will become key. These two seas looks to be separated to me now. I don't know if there's a channel allowing passage here. But yeah, as I understand it, currently Greece is trying to position itself to be able to attack Persia, to coordinate with Rome probably, and I don't know if that's going overland or if he's positioning on the sea. I'm starting to guess that it will have to go overland in the south, but I don't know. So there's that. So I'll be staying pacifist. My plan is pretty much only to stay in the game at this moment. I'm enjoying the diplomacy and trying to repair my fallen empire. Hopefully I'll reinstate my Amorite family, which is pretty miffed at the moment at my leadership. Of course they have no cities, so their opinion is not as important as others. I'm impatient for this schemer to die. My queen is a judge, so that's obviously a pain. I would really like to be positive on opinion with the Kassite, and this guy is hanging on to life for much too long, in my opinion. The Chaldeans are delighted because my leader is Chaldean, and they didn't have cities, so they didn't accumulate discontent for quite a long time, and they have only one city now. They'll have a second one when I regain a foothold in the Dilbat. As far as I know, there are Assyrian units close to the border. A maceman was visible last turn. I moved in and out recently as well, and saw a horseman around. A well-promoted one, Focus 3 I think. So I have to be careful. Ideally I'd like them the AI to move in and try to do something, but they probably have full vision. I expect an agent in Babylon So probably they won't, but of course I'd like to benefit from my sentinel bonus. Everything is 20% stronger. Well, not everything, but all my ranged units, which is most of my hitting power, is more efficient in my land by by 20%, which is enormous, of course. But still, I should relatively soon be able to strike with significant force. Killing a slinger isn't much, of course. The danger will be whatever maces and horses are around. I had a choice for tech this turn, and I went for architecture. I don't remember what was available. Yeah, monasticism, battle line, and machinery. So an argument could definitely be made for battle line, but yeah, if I want to get back, I will need to rebuild my economy. So I'm essentially doubling down on that with architecture. Bases could be a way to make up for lost science. Ideally, I'd have liked to go for metaphysics and cartography to steal science, but that wasn't on the table, and I don't have a scholar, so I cannot redraw text. Interestingly, I have 2 Nabu temple, because this one was started while Babylon wasn't in my control, so I was able to make a second one. We'll see if I can get anything out of that, probably not much. And yeah, that's it. I'm trying to do something in the game, which is mostly supporting Frederik at the moment, but yeah, we'll see. See you soon.
Turn 90. Fluffy has not attacked. Meanwhile, Frederik looks like he's taken this. We've got a bunch of events. TLDR on the events is we can get some charisma on our leader, get some discipline on our leader, etc. So we'll go ahead and do that, resolving all those events. We'll move Amazement into Persia out of Paranoia. We will take this unit that was produced in Persia and move it up here, upgrading it against brave melee units. We'll move this scout. That was a Force March scout into Tishpa, and then we're moving this scout here. The rationale, since this is not a captured city right now, when it captures, our scout should get punted out. Council here. We'll clear up a Cataphract Archer here and here. Council here. Council here. Council everywhere, basically. Start Decree. Repair damage, and upgrade that to Maceman. Rush out of Trireme with orders. Rush out of Trireme or Cataphract with orders. Move the ships way back. The rationale is I want him to force march to try to kill these ships. I can easily get back to fight anywhere along the coast here. Should be fine. I also have a ton of Cataphract Archers there. But I don't want to lose my ships to like getting cornered or something like with, I don't know how many boats he has or whether his hero is still on his leader, but I'll need to keep an eye, or his hero is still on a military unit that has stasis, but if it ever goes onto a boat, I need to worry. I'm going to move my monks or my disciples around to get 2 more science. I have orders to spare, so can't hurt to do that. And then here I'll just do some promos. And that pretty much ends my turn. Kind of holding tight. I do confess I actually miscalculated. Last turn I think I was planning for victory on turn 92. I wasn't taking into account assimilation. It's actually going to be turn 93 for both Menifer and Nisibis. Nisibis is already showing properly 93. Menifer is currently showing 4 years away, but it's actually going to be 3 because we're finishing this Odeon, which will give us 3.6. And we will also potentially send dies to Menifer as well next turn. We don't have to. We can, but we don't have to. And that will speed things up a little bit. So the next closest candidate is Keturah in 5 years. If we send Keturah dies instead, it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters for Keturah if we send it dies. Actually, it can be 4 years instead of 3 with dies. So yeah, we could send Keturah dies to get it to finish on 93. Send dies Keturah, question mark. Athau, Keturah, Menifer. I'm pretty sure it is. Doesn't matter because Menifer is going to be in 3 years. That Odeon completing will help quite a bit. And Nisibis is complete, and this Odeon won't matter because it's landing in 2 turns. So we're 3 turns away from victory. Frederik has a pretty nasty army here. Fortunately, he hasn't anchored If he does, we have a couple triremes to kill his units. 3 triremes should kill a bireme. Otherwise, his units are going to really have a hard time getting all the way to Assur. His army will do nasty things to our army. We do have a lot of troops ready to go here. We can build 4 roads if need be, because this work is going to be done. We'll probably consider building a road 1 tile to Assur to get through the river. Build 1 road tile there. That should help. Otherwise, I think we're pretty much okay. We can also move this worker west for more roading or fording or whatever the hell you want to do. I don't think it's worth putting troops here, and I'm glad I didn't, because now that would have made Frederik have a very easy time of killing them. I want him to come to me, and he really has to take a city to get points. Looks like he's taking this city. He'll probably have to come to this city next. I could potentially wall this off, question mark. Consider walling off east of Munia. That's something to consider next turn. We upgraded this maceman. We're done with our maceman. Here we're just holding the coast. We retreated this. Just trying to lock everything up. Shiraz, I know I said this a bunch of times. Shiraz. Figure out where they go. Frederik is sending us these furs. We can't remove them from the hunters without losing a lot of opinion for removing them. I looked at whether that would speed up Mennefer. It doesn't. Even if we send everything, it doesn't matter. It's going to be 3 years no matter what we do, just because the simulation is just a little too strong right now. Even sending it dies. I think, oh yeah, the math I have actually does involve sending dies for Mennefer. I'm pretty sure, right? Or does it not matter? It doesn't matter. Mennefer is turn 93 no matter whether I send it dies or not. Keturah, I think, is turn 95. If I send it dies, then it's turn 93. So then it's turn 94. And Nisibis is turn 93. So dies to Keturah. T94 victory, but we should win on T93. Next turn, we're getting this. That'll give us 2 points to 50 points. And then we're getting this in 2 turns on turn 92. That'll put us at 52. And then Mennefer and Nisibis both happen on 53. Sorry, on 93, not 53. So what can happen in 2 turns? Basically, we fire this way, right? We win on the start of 93. Frederik can move forces over here, try to anchor a boat. We would kill the boat. He can continue to move forces and attack Assur. It does have walls. We don't have portcullis. We should consider portcullis for Moat 91 as a potential here. Instead of Barding. Barding won't matter. Portcullis Moat potentially could matter. We have troops in every single city. Leave a troop in Shiraz. Force in Shiraz next turn. Yeah, we have bulky troops everywhere. Wasset does not have walls, so as long as we don't lose any cities, we should win on 93. Even if we do lose cities, we will win with a bunch of wonders, and cities Zhao and Wasset are 6 years away and speeding up as well. So there's a lot of points coming in 6 years, 5 years. So just looking at that wonder and Zhao and Wasset, we have 5 points coming in 6 years. So even if we lose a city, that we can hold we have 5 more points. So we have 5 points over what we need to win the game coming in. So we can lose 5 points and still win on turn 96. So, all right. I think we're in a pretty dominant position, given that, even if, God forbid, Assur falls, we still win in 96 unless he manages to take Tushpa and Assur. If he takes Tushpa and Assur and Nisibis, then we lose. Or then we don't win. But I don't see him taking all those in 5 turns. We'll see though. These are some pretty fierce units. They have boosts to horsemen, which is annoying. This guy is swift, the general, so could move all the way over here. Of course, that's pretty plain firms here. We do have some of these guys here where these forts are completing. It's going to be really hard for him to invade. This way, Assur is going to be a little more challenging. He can try to come up here. We can probably move things up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We can throw a lot of units at that with roads there. Yeah, if need be, we can throw a lot at that. And again, we only need to hold turn 91 next turn and turn 92. And we win on 93. So unless he moves very aggressively towards the sewer, force marches to try to start attacking it and killing units, I think we're okay. I'd be very surprised if he did that. And if he does, like, we can just pull all these units up. We're saving a lot of force march, a lot of training to be able to force march if needed, although we can reach up here without needing to force march at all. So these horsemen are pretty vulnerable. You could come and kill them with a force march because these units eat horsemen alive. But if he does, then, like, we'll see. Again, it is disturbing that he's now on my borders. But if he wanted to do that, I feel like he would have anchored here or here to, like, speed this up. I would expect him to anchor next turn, and the fact that he's also left these units back here doesn't feel like he's going towards a beeline towards a sewer. And importantly, the fact that he's still sending me fur also makes it not feel like that. So, all right, I've babbled on enough. I'm going to go do the sit rep, but I'm going to send in this turn and see how things go. Definitely an interesting game. Should have victory on turn 93, not 92, as previously surmised. Just a paranoia check, we're at 51.4 right now. We will send dies, and the Odeon will complete, which will take us to 23.1 base, because it's 3.6 plus 2 from the dies, plus the 17.5 base that we have. That then gets reduced by assimilation to 17.5, and then 17.7 the next turn, which takes us to 110 culture on turn 93 at the start for victory. All right. Okay, and we picked up Holy War, completed our ambition. So, all right, let's go ahead and send this one back, and then hopefully we'll be here in 2 turns about victory, but next I'm going to do the sit rep. So, see you in a bit. All right, we're back with a sit rep on turn 90. In between, Assyria made its moves. Since it's still AI controlled, I don't really see any interesting moves from Assyria. So, yeah, most importantly, they did not declare war on us or anything silly like that. All right, let's review what happened since our timeline here. Scroll all the way back to turn 80. Take a look at what the map looked like. We had just captured Tushpa and Nisibis, so we had just finished capturing stuff. And then I think we declared war on Rome or something. Yeah, that was turn 78. So we dealt with the hero offensive that he attacked. He had just attacked into us. We got sniped by Circus Maximus by a turn. We discovered cartography, started Necropolis, got steel. Again, had I started Necropolis earlier, which I could have done pretty much any time, I would have had those 2 points earlier. So even starting on 82 would have been better than waiting until 83. But of course, I was saving stone for Circus Maximus, and hindsight is 2020. Drama, Babylon recaptured, Battle Line, Zhao got captured. Yeah, we basically captured a lot of stuff. You can see the sweet replay functionality here. What looks like turn 80, we finished capturing those Assyrian cities, and then of course we started pushing into former Egyptian lands owned by Rome. A little bit of a sea standoff against our Roman friends. That's why we're hiding boats down here in case we need to defend this landing point. Got really lucky with essentially this. We'll see what Frederik does here with his captured city. He could try marching into the interior. That feels like a horrible mistake because I can crush from multiple sides. I have great mobility there. I fully expect him to try to anchor boats and attack Assur, but we will see. I have some triremes. As far as I can tell, he only has biremes, and despite picking up Holy War, I don't see him with any cataphracts yet, which leads me to think he doesn't have cataphracts yet. Because if I were him, I would have shown cataphracts at this point, although this unit did disappear. So I don't know. I am not at war with him. I have no desire to go at war with him. So maybe he's pulled that down and upgraded it. I don't know. I have not seen any cataphracts in my scouting vision. My vision's now a little worse. This should flip over on his turn, and my scout should be punted somewhere while still staying invisible. Ambitions. We completed our Holy War. Carryover ambition. Succession is assured and also irrelevant because she's 32. Hopefully we'll live a long life for at least the next 3 turns to see us into victory. But we have Roxana, who we are not tutoring because it doesn't matter. I'd rather have the money for rushing things with Holy War, which is what we rush this Cataphract Archer with. Next turn, we will probably take Portcullis over Barding with the logic that if we need to, that lets me get Portcullis on 92 where it doesn't matter, and then we could try to, yeah, I don't think it actually matters. Neither of those choices matter. Jurisprudence was 3 turns away and didn't matter. Land Consolidation was a turn away, and we're not going to be able to bring any luxuries online. Nothing matters. Machinery, Onager also doesn't matter. Not going to be useful to have Onagers. Like rushing out an Onager and putting on a hill does nothing for me. I mean, we could, but it doesn't really do anything for us. Maybe Machinery was the right call. I don't think it matters. 5 strength Onager being rushed out is not going to be produced until, we won't have it until 91. The tech, we'd rush it out at 92, and then it would deploy on 90. It does not matter. All right, succession is assured. Tech tree, that's not the tech tree, that's the city list. Tech tree, we were trying to rush towards Barding. We didn't get the rolls we needed to get Barding fast, and somehow we have avoided getting Portcullis despite having cartography, so we've lost a ton of steel research. We definitely should have gotten drama and Portcullis much earlier, especially since we got cartography. Cartography is kind of saving our bacon right now with those triremes to stop the Roman sea invasion and potentially to counter any aggression from Greece as well. Ideally, we'd like both. In practice, neither matters because the game should be over in 3 turns. So yeah. Laws and theologies, we are on exploration, freedom, centralization, constitution, serfdom, monotheism, legal code, orthodoxy, and holy war. Orthodoxy is very nice for rushing with orders, which indeed we did because we had a ton of orders saved over because our troops are kind of just waiting around in position here. Not planning on any changes here. You could argue potentially for tolerance, except for, it doesn't matter because discontent doesn't matter, because the game is over in 3 turns. Wonders, we've been very greedy with wonders. We got the Colossus done. Acropolis is done in 6 years, which also doesn't matter. Mausoleum and Circus Maximus also don't matter and are done in 9 years. Cities by training, we've got amazing training production. Ekbatana, which is currently counseling, which means it's increased by 40%, 80% actually, holy crap, is showing off at 104 training. It's not actually that high without the council running. Parsa has 58, but we just rushed with gold. Shiraz has horseman production and that hilarious cavalry cult. It's going to give us a Cataphract Archer out, so we're going to get something more. Frederik is still weaker than us. We can take a look at a pretty military graph to see that huge spike in power. We're just trying to go straight up in terms of power. Really building up a ton of force here to make it really hard to crack Assur, and definitely impossible to get into Ortispana. Again, if he wants to come through this desert and trickle forks into Seismic Valley for me to kill them all, it's going to be very welcome. It's just going to be super hard for him to attack with air force. I fully expect him to try to attack into Assur, but he only has 2 turns to do anything with it, 91 and 92, because I went on 93. And I moved before Frederik and Fluffy. I moved after No Legs, because I was the 3rd player in the game. So slight advantage for me that they have 1 less turn to react to. Source of science, Parsa is currently God mode at 143. Somehow my Zealot has 6 science, which I kind of find personally hilarious, considering Greek scholar only has 4, so the Zealot is smarter than the scholar. Go, Khorazin II, the subjugator. I did have a choice of Zealot or Tactician a while ago. It's actually really fortunate I didn't take Tactician, because I would have had to somehow remove these forest, so otherwise I wouldn't have been able to block Rome's landing, because ranged units as a tactician would disappear in the forest, which means that which normally is really good, your units become invisible, but is really bad when you're trying to block tiles, so Zealot turned out useful. Zealot's extra fatigue is also very useful for just mobility on the map. Source of science is Parsa, Cyrus is sort of 2nd, and then everyone else is in the 20s. And yeah, we just started some Holy War upkeep. So 359 science. We almost hit 400 science before we started Holy War. So that's also quite good. And we'll get into some graphs in a second here. Family opinion. Hunters are closest at 288. If we lose the luxuries, we'll get minus 50 from that. But we are giving them gifts, which will land in 2 years, and influencing which will land next year. So they should be pretty safe. All our families are going to be happy. We're going to have that sweet friendly family bonus. And yeah, I don't actually see that bonus for our Greek friends, which implies that, I guess, oh yeah, there it is, friendly family. Oh yeah, only his family is friendly. This family does not look like it's friendly. So I guess he has 2 cautious families and 1 friendly family. So we will also have an advantage there. Unfortunately, his unit does have that really nasty Horsebane, and Phalangite by itself has anti-mounted too, so it's 50 plus 50% strength. So this is a 12 strength unit against my 8 strength units, and it's even more with mounted. So he has an army designed to kill my army. It's going to be really hard to take this down. That works, I think. The melee, the anti one is in melee combat, which is great because my units are ranged, so I can just shoot at them, but I can't be touched by them because then they do a ton of damage. So I will lose in a, not lose, but like I will not trade favorably against a Greek army. Fortunately, I can throw numbers at it, and he's coming to my lands. He's got this boat here. I presume he's going to try to anchor another boat. I may have to say something about that next turn, and deny it. We'll see. 3 triremes will be quite a lot. 3 triremes should be able to kill a bireme. He's trying to hide it here, I think, so that I can't kill it. That's also clever. But yeah, here I can't kill it. Or I could, I guess, maybe. I don't want to. I don't think I need to right now. Just kind of, chilling. Don't bother me. They don't know how close I am to victory. They will start realizing as soon as they see Holy Wonders, and then they'll do the math. Yeah, I presume they think that this is a 6-year clock, not a 3-year clock. All right, so graphs. Family opinion, everyone's pretty happy. You can see the 199 line here. Friendly, we've basically been pretty much friendly the entire time. Victory points, this is basically when we started conquesting, right around, somewhere around here. And yeah, it's just been a straight acceleration. So since turn 70, we were at 23. Now we're at 48, and turn 80, 31. So very, very quick ascent. Resource prices, wood has gone up. Everything else has pretty much crashed. Food's kind of rebounded. Territory explored, really sad showing. We've only been on 50% of the map. We just never got that Spy Master, and Reveal Nation territory is actually a really way to get quick exploration points. We just never did that. Didn't prioritize it this game. Didn't prioritize some Odeons. Some Odeons every year would have gotten us culture win earlier. Just didn't think about it. Fluffy also denied us the mausoleum, although that didn't matter, but we could have got that a lot earlier. We didn't think we were going to be going for a culture victory. Always know your win condition is the moral of the story. And the military score graph, as noted. Zoom, zoom. Wood production, pretty solid at 54. We don't really need wood for anything except for triremes, and we can chop if need be. Stone production has really been carrying us all game to help us produce wonders. Iron production, likewise, we're in great shape with iron production. 272. Food is actually our weak spot at 156. So fortunately, we don't need to do that big barding upgrade because the game's going to be over before then. Frederik may or may not beat us to barding. Probably may beat us to barding because I assume he has a spy master and can steal religion or steal research, and we can't. And he may also have a higher science than I do. Fortunately, it looks like we might be able to escape with a victory. And the science graph of explosion is just hilarious in terms of how quickly we have gone up in science in the last 20 turns. Really, really getting that exponential curve on. Happiness, nothing to see there. Culture, similarly, really should have considered getting mausoleum earlier. We did not. That plus 40% culture in every city would have been really freaking good. Instead, we were really fixated on Circus Maximus, which turns out it's not going to matter. So again, moral of the story, should have gotten the mausoleum way earlier, would be in our advantage right now to get that culture victory. Definitely a misplay by my part, not getting that in the turn 70s or 80s or whatever. Instead, I was saving for Circus Maximus, thinking that my win condition was going to be military victory. Training production, likewise good. Civics production, pretty great all game. And growth production, pretty good. Fun with stats, national wealth, who knows where we are in ranking. We're not very rich, we've been spending our money down. 77 specialists, which is kind of amazing. Here's our specialist list. 13 apprentice officers, 13 elder monks, which is pretty amazing. 10 elder officers, and yeah, a bunch of other monks and scribes and philosophers. 24 workers, which includes disciples. Military units produced 11 cataphract archers, 6 Palton cabs that got upgraded to cataphract archers, 8 horses, 5 warriors, all of which became macemen, 1 maceman directly, 2 biremes, 2 triremes, 2 biremes also upgraded to triremes. Yeah, lost 4 units only. Don't even remember what they were. 2 to Rome, and then I don't know what the other 2 died to. 29 units killed. And yeah, 335 improvements, including a delicious 56 quarries. Probably, I guess, need more farms. And 5 wonders, which will soon be 6. Except the game's going to be over. Okay, so yeah, anything interesting to say here? We've got the new in Babylon and Judge. We are AI Assyria is a Mason, Subjugator for Rome, and Architect. That just finishing improvements for Greece. Yeah, family tree. This one. Yeah, we've got Princess Roxana, who is not getting tutored at all because all money is being saved right now for potential military production. We will see when and how any attack comes. Yeah, I will. Not sure what tech I'll do between barding and portcullis next turn. It doesn't matter because neither is going to matter. Fortunately, probably barding because I don't know that I would guarantee rerolling into barding again. So yeah, definitely should have gotten drama earlier. Definitely should have gotten the mausoleum earlier to calculate this. That 40% culture in every city would really have sped up this victory a little bit. Fortunately, yeah, we had the opportunity to build it a long time ago and we just never did. We had the stone for it, we just never did. Again, because we were saving for that Circus Maximus, which is not even going to matter, and also got sniped by our friends the Greeks. Okay, definitely no way we are going to be able to land in Rome. That's not feasible. We're just sitting back and enjoying this. We'll see what our friends the Greeks do. Feel like it's going to be pretty challenging for them to take Assur. Could be wrong, but feels like it's going to be pretty challenging. He doesn't have cataphract archers or cataphracts, which would be challenging. And again, even if we do lose Assur, we have 5 other points queued up in the next 3 years after our victory turn, so we can make that back very quickly. In fact, all of them are coming 6 years from now. Okay, and if he does engage here, we just are going to attack here. I don't think he can take the city in 1 turn. I just don't see how that could happen, considering it has walls. It has 30 health. He doesn't have a hero, thank God, unlike the Romans. And this would be like an insane force march to try to throw something in a sword. So, yeah, he is trying to go up, and yeah. All right, that is it for the situation report. We will be back with turns 91, 92, and hopefully you'll have a victory turn on 93. We will see. It's going to be tight. I was feeling more confident when I thought I was going to win on 92, because that's even less time for my other players to react, but 93 will also work. All right, let's go ahead and send this one back.
Hello, Fluffybunny here, recording a turn 90 check-in for our FFA game. The war in Persia has gone about as expected. They have swept through and taken all my lands. I did try and fight back at Mennefer, did an offensive, killed a couple of his cat archers, but there's just too many of them. I can't deal with this. So he's pushed me all the way back. I did try and anchor over here to come back, but he killed my boats with his archers, and he's now blocking the coast with his archers. Plus he's got, he had a couple of triremes here, one of them has moved. So yeah, it doesn't look like I am getting down here anytime soon. Yeah, lost all of the land I took from Egypt. I'm back down to 4 cities. And yeah, Alcaras is up to 48 out of 54 with 2 holy sites and a wonder on the go. So he will win in 6 turns at most, probably less, if we don't stop him. I'm not in a position to stop him unless I can perhaps do something with anchoring down here to get in. But otherwise, he's pretty much safe from me. Frederik may be able to do something, but Assyria is the AI. They're not going to help. And I think Babylonia is too weak and too far away to do anything as well. So let's review then, shall we? Turn log, year 80. So yeah, lost Mennefer, did our offensive there. A couple new wonders have started. We lost Thou, we got Stirrups. We did get a peace treaty with Mojo, the AI, so that's something. And then we lost Waset and Amunia. Discovered Rhetoric. We did start the Mausoleum for what it's worth, not a lot. We failed the 8 generals and 6 treasuries ambition because we were just short 1 general, which is very frustrating. Plus I don't have 6 cities anymore, so I definitely can't do that. Greece has captured Arpad, which I guess is this Assyrian city. It's fairly irrelevant, but something. So that's the turn log. Research wise, we are, let's see, we're currently on land consolidation. We want scholarship, we want lateen sail for ships, we want cartography so we can still research, we want a lot of things. Yeah, research is really, really bad. Everyone is erudite. Alcaras is much stronger than me. Mojo's weaker now. between Alcaras and Frederik. They've done a good job of beating him up. Yeah. What else is there to say? So the wonders list is looking reasonably complete now. A couple of legendary wonders left. Succession wise, I've got some heirs. I'm doing fine, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, we've still got our drunk hero in charge who has at least 9 charisma, which is not entirely terrible. I'm probably wasting him on a as a general. I should probably assign him as a governor. He's severely ill though, so he's probably going to be dead soon anyway, so that's not too much. We've got 5 laws up. We have the tech for we've got the tech for tyranny or constitution, but not the civics. Yeah, we've got 4 cities. They're terrible. We've got, again, the good trading city. Never really managed to actually get any decent civics on the go, which is inexcusably poor. Definitely need to work on that. Records wise, I don't think there's going to be very much of any interest to see here. Yeah, we're just at the bottom for everything really. Apart from possibly economy, which is going quite well. Shame we had nothing to spend it on. So yeah, looks like this will, I suspect, be the last check-in. I imagine the game is going to be over in 10 turns unless Frederik can really pull something out of the bag. But it's going to have to be impressive if he does. But anyway, yeah, it's been a good game. So we'll send it back and perhaps, I don't know if we're going to do a post-game chat. But yeah, in any event, that was that. And see you next time.
So from turn 90. And we are entering the end game. I think I forgot to show the record screen, or this part of the record screen. At least some of the details in here. So let's start off with this right now. Looking at our specialists. Relatively few elder office. I didn't really have the resources or judges to get many elder officers online. Then military units produced. Lots of units to upgrade, or that I did upgrade already. The improvements, or there are few captured improvements in there now as well. So family opinion kind of holding together somewhat. Not really great, especially champions are breaking the 100, but only barely. I can reassign some luxuries though to keep these above to at least here. It's unfortunate. I really need this family bonus to combat is kind of important. 3 points. Resource prices, everything except wood cratering. Stuff getting sold. Military score going up, but most importantly, Persia is listed as stronger again. So what's going on? That's what I've captured. I don't even have forestry researched. Stone going down. I switched into freedom, so that's one of the drops. Then food shooting up as I switch to vassalage. Similar with iron. Money going up again. Science coming down a bit. That's from switching out of centralization. We're still doing good on science, so that's not a problem. Happiness, culture, trading. Yeah, not much to see here. So, quick look on to the timeline. Just declared war to so that my units exert zone of control on his. The conflict is imminent. He's about to win. I got the machinery this turn from an event, random tech. Cost me my leader to become impious, which is hurting my religion, my relations with two families, since it's hurting the relations with all the religions, or with every family, since every family follows a religion. There's the switches in laws. Took on this ambition, as we're already on the way to Barding and Infantry Square we would go for, but I don't think we will. But unless I can knock alcaras down a peg, I will not reach Infantry Square. Enacted Holy War. Babylon managed to get his capital again. Got martial code, switch to freedom. We are capturing stuff in here. He started the construction of the necropolis, and as of now he would, I think latest, I think he's guaranteed to win in these 6 turns, since he already also has some holy sites under construction, but it could be even earlier if the holy sites finish faster and he gets culture in his cities. So yeah, previous chancellor died. Got portcullis and added some spice in here. He has rushed some triremes down here, which is unfortunate, since that will disrupt our supply lines. Otherwise, he enacted martial code this turn or last turn, so he's on his way to boarding as well. He has triremes, I do not. Crucially, I have Byreme securing this, and he's 3-shotting these, or not quite 2-shotting. So he cannot kill this with 2 ships, but he could kill this, cutting off the supply, the troop movement down here. Have all the relevant troops in here. We're getting Barding next turn. Looking to upgrade all my horsemen. They're all down here. One is here, but they're in movement reach here. Finishing capturing this next turn. Then there's this finishes in 2 turns, so when the cataphracts come off cooldown, I'm owning this coast so they can get forward pretty fast. This is I could not quite war. I could have maybe walled this up, but this makes the troops more susceptible to him selling forth. Right now I'm pretty much out of reach here, although he could probably do some roading to reach this. Anyway, that's fine. So he cannot, mainly I'm doing this so he cannot force march one of his catapult archers through here and kill this after 2 ships had attacked this. Also have a treachery finishing in 1 year here. Hopefully that goes through. It's a 5 courage. Heroes, so the chances are decent, but it's far from guaranteed. 44%. Fingers crossed. The damage will prevent him from rushing further units, even if he'll probably repair those 10 hit points over 2 or 3 turns until I can finally attack the city. I've been in contact with both Babylon and Rome. Rome has lost all the Egyptian territories, and there's a standoff. Like this, basically the mountains cut off the land movement, and there's a naval standoff. Like neither has enough to basically guarantee a landing, so the troops are standing blocking the coast. So hopefully most of Persia's catapult archers will be bound here and cannot get in time to this fight. then we have a decent chance on taking this on. There's also a chance he's just moving in, trying to kill as many troops early, but since he's walling off with forts here, it's probably not what he's looking to do, but we'll have to see. Like the random tag, I was of course hoping to get cartography. That would have been amazing, but this is unfortunate. It doesn't do much for us except get us closer to mills or crossbows, but those are not looking to play a part here. We have an earlier barding timing. Hopefully he was unlucky and needs to research something else to reroll and did not get barding right after martial code. He does not have a scholar, although I didn't need to redraw myself. I got lucky in that barding came up immediately afterwards. Getting some more ships out that can help with this, but even so, even if you're looking at our, this is the, yes, he ill, he is ill, that's unfortunate. So even if he's looking here, that's, I'm doing 4, but it's in national territory, so probably 5. He's doing 8 to these. He has more. It's better. I think I can maybe push this up with some 2 plus 5% with some luxury reassignments. I don't need the luxuries in the capital anymore, so I have some salt for and pearls to reassign. So I got my first back and lost my salt. 1 salt. Probably losing this one of the salts. That came from Persia once it's his turn, since I declared war this turn. My first already back. Switching to council here, I have an Byreme almost finished, but I don't need them here. That was just in case I needed to swing down here to fight here, but that's not coming up. No need to finish this and have extra upkeep. Might even cancel this if I need the resources. Yeah. Switched over to degrees. Could do other stuff in here still, archives or specialists, but science is good enough, and I really need these orders. I could use another 10-15 orders just to move some of these other troops down. The spearmen can still help, but this is cataphract archers and horsemen that he still has. So yeah, thing is lining up pretty well here. Even if he breaks this, I have most of my strike force in place. Need to capture this. Those are 2 points. So another 4 points here, 2 from developing, 2 from the holy side of Christianity. So if I can break these 2 cities, there's also a treachery running here. And I think I've talked to Norix and he started a treachery in here as well. So that can help. And if he's forced to pull his troops from the coast, there's a real chance for Rome to recapture some of the cities back here. But it all depends if we're in time. If like the holy sites, the 2 holy sites that are under construction here and here, finish next turn, and 2 cities get a culture level. Like this is a holy city, probably built up somewhere. This is a wonder, although this was captured pretty late. Also this city and the cities in his territory. There's not much culture here, but yeah, no use looking around. This can easily this will probably gain a culture level pretty fast. But yeah, because most of his army is bound in the west, I have a chance to actually strike and kill some things. But even so, we can see there are units in here. And these ships makes things harder, a lot harder. Otherwise, do I need to show anything else? We did get an adoption event to secure succession. Judge does not do much for us, so she doesn't like us. Did we get? Oh, did the opinion not update because we got this turn? Eh, no matter. Yeah, suspending worker production, even though our resource incomes are not the best, but it's enough to get some, keep some cataphract and applies our phalangite production going. So I'll have to see. Ultimately, everything is set in motion. And the question is, can we reach Assyria in time to knock some points off Persia? Otherwise, this game is concluding very soon. If we can knock some points off, we do have a chance to actually fight out a war, a decent war. Although it's not easy. Look, just scrolling around, he has way more improvements just from guessing. I'm looking around. Also, he has lots of wonders. I did not get any wonders started except this. This is where lots of his points come from. Luckily, he cannot reach Roma, where most of the other wonders are. So yeah. This is concerning because of the orders. This is not the worst, although the civics can certainly help. Colossus is here in the statesman seat. Not sure if he's actually building units there. I don't think so. So the level is irrelevant. Stargate does not do anything. This is, yeah, some reductions. Yeah. So we're poised to strike in about 3 turns. Not sure if I'm moving forward with everything next turn, and then it's kind of hard. I don't want to lose most of my phalangites. He's not too far away from boarding himself. The other thing is, I have been working together with both Babylon and Rome, but ultimately I'm not allied to any one of them, and I can only ally one of them. So there's a chance that one of them is going to backstab me, like buying an alliance with Persia and backstabbing me. Could see Nolex doing that. Also, he's usually not, from what I've gathered, not about backstabbing, but I did attack him for 1 round before Assyria just tapped out of the game. So he has been feeding me resources, which was absolutely crucial in keeping my production, my phalangite upgrades going, and now my cataphracts upgrade, the food. And probably if he keeps sending me resources, I can get some wood to upgrade my ships into triremes. So we'll have to see. Rome, he has lost most of his territory to alcaras, so I'm not sure, but he has access to my cities. He could strike with his units and strike, or feed me the wrong information about Persia's movement, so not sure how that's going, if anyone's considering that, or how the talks between the other nations are going. I've made an effort to reach out to, or keep at least the channel open to most critical, and this has benefited me so far, but we'll have to see. They are not really much of a threat militarily, but just they, even if he moves onto one of some of my cities, not sure he can break through there too easily. I mean, these aren't guarded by walls, but he can break them, but they aren't the most critical cities. But yeah. So, we'll have to see what's happening, if he's using his ships offensively next turn, or his troops offensively, or staying back. If he stays back for one more turn, it's probably going to be looking good. I can maybe move some more troops down there. Just reaching these shores helps. Although most of these units are too far away for that. I have to see. Can anchor a second ship here, making it harder. Like I did heal this turn, so if he doesn't move out and attack, I can anchor this ship here too, and move the other two towards the front. That gives me some movement. The problem is this is my one stunner that I have. I can get another stunner, and I'm also low on training. I need the training to upgrade these units, so it's not that I can buy upgrades. Can buy a lot of upgrades. I do have Holy War, so maybe I'm lucking out with the upgrades out of these two cities. I don't have elder officers in here. My only elders are in my champion seat. So yeah. Hopefully he stays back. I'm not sure how the timing is on these. Hopefully this blows up on his turn, since that will be next year. Then he will be on 3 ships, and then if the stunner survives and I can maybe get another stunner, then it's not looking too bad to keep control of the seas. But it's kind of dicey still. I would very much like control of the seas, because just like anchoring 2 ships here will just like make it way easier to reinforce, because I'm looking to capture this, and probably this. So it's hard to break through here, although with cataphracts it's a decent chance. Can also try and go through here, but the Nolex has infiltrated the Assyrians, and there's only 1 white mountain passes in here, so it's hard to break through any of these mountains. I don't have much archer power. I have 2 horse archers, so we'll have to look and see how hard the cataphracts can hit into this together with the horse archers. These are on neutral territory, so if he isn't switching into colonies and buying these tiles, I can make use of these forts too, possibly. But possibly if he doesn't assign a general here, this is the most likely target. Not sure if I can break this. If 2 cataphracts and 2 horse archers are strong enough. Possibly an archer here too. Maybe work on moving him over, upgrading to an archer. Probably think about rushing out an archer, maybe an onager, although onagers are vulnerable. Let's slow. But we'll have to see how, although if I can even reinforce realistically, how does the trade route on just are stuck. Anything with horses will be building cataphracts. But I could rush out an onager out of this city with money afterwards. So that's not the worst idea. Yeah, but that's it with the situation report. And see you soon, maybe.